Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
All right. Shalom. It is Elder Rawchaa, and you're tuned in to G.O.C.C. Media. How is everybody doing out there today? Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody today. Gotta make sure my mic is good. Sorry. We're just coming in. Had to throw on my linen real quick. Since we're going to be speaking about linen a little bit tonight and a little bit of health in our temples and getting our temples on point. All right. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Shalom, everybody. Peace and blessings to you guys. Some of these lessons or information or edifications that I said I will come out with, I'm slowly introducing them. I had to pick which one I was going to go into today. I said I would save the foot health. For the near future. I can actually speak on it. One, I sell barefoot shoes that ground you out. Two, I used to deal with plantar fasciitis and different things like that. Messed my Achilles up, knees, all that. Played basketball for years, football, all that. So pretty much understand foot health pretty well. So we'll go into that in the near future. But tonight we're going to go into a little bit about clothing and also about some of the ways, some of the reasons we're not seeing consistency. That's why I called it tonight. We have to fix this or else. Now, we can't beg people to fix this. So all we can do is put information out there. And in some areas, we can't even tell everyone exactly everything what to of what to do or how to do every little thing. We push people to do their research. We push people to get up off the couch. We push people to be, to add more discipline to themselves and things like that. But it's only, you can bring somebody to the water, but you can't make them drink. Okay, so once again, I am Elder Rawchaa. We're not going to be on long tonight. I have a lot of carpentry work to do tomorrow on the homestead. So that's where I'm coming. I'm a man of many, many talents. Okay, and my dad was a carpenter, my grandpa. So it's just in my blood. And yeah. Where can you get the foot shoes? My website will be up, but if you just absolutely need them now, they are $120 for the shoes and $140 for the boots. I'm gonna tell you. So I don't sell $20 shoes, and I'm not knocking anybody who does, but in all reality, we stay in 2025, and my shoes are in the same class as Gucci, Fendi, and I don't promote them like that. But I mean, like, they're actually better quality, and they're actually made for foot health. They're made in someone's hands. They're made in someone's bare hands, leather sole, copper rivet at the bottom to make sure you ground out. You're already ground out from our vegetable tan buffalo leather, but you will also be grounded out from the copper rivet, pure copper rivet. And when you sweat, is going to exit the shoe. It's going to give you wide, barefoot grounding out, period, just like the ancient ones wore. And I sell dress shoes and boots. I don't sell the sportswear yet because it was already out there. I didn't feel the need to sell sports shoes because it's just so prevalent out there. And if I ever do, I'll let you know. But right now, I'm focusing on a lot of foot health. All right. Those shoes with the rubber at the bottom, they do have benefits because I wear some of the sports ones. They don't ground you out. Rubber doesn't ground you out at all. But they give you the wide toe box, flat foot. So there's benefits there. Benefits there. But we'll talk about that in the near future. Let's talk about the other things that we have to fix tonight. And these are just some, like I said, this is just some information and some edification for those who have been asking for it. It's long overdue. And I'll give you some of the benefits in the near future on how I cannot go back to the other shoes. I know some people are still new to it, but some of us who actually know this and really understand it and still are constantly learning and constantly receiving the benefits as time goes by, I can't go back to the other shoes. Me personally. I have to have my hiking boots and barefoot, basketball shoes, no matter what, they all must be barefoot. And I was naturally flat-footed, and people used to say flat-footed is not good. Well, it all came out years later after 2020 that flat foot is better. Having an arch is good. Of course, having an arch, but flat foot was shunned upon. It's like, why does a person have to feel bad because they're flat-footed? That's crazy. But come to find out, that's actually good for you. Anyway, we'll talk about that, how the foot health connects with all of the organs and things like that in the near future. Okay? So there's no better, there's no worse. There's just education, and there's just wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and what a person thinks is fit for themselves. It's very simple. Okay? So we have to fix this or else. I want to first go to Proverbs 20 and 22. Okay, but first, let me put out there really quick, because I know that the Hebrew and Bible Academy will be starting this week. The Hebrew and Bible Academy will be starting this week, and the website is historytimes.org. Okay, historytimes.org. If you want to join our Hebrew and Bible Academy, let me get it here for you really quick. Hebrew and Bible Academy, historytimes.org, right before we go in. And I think Elder said, as you see here, you can win a free enrollment. Share your thoughts for a chance to receive a free Academy enrollment seat. Who doesn't want a seat to one of the best classes with some of the most rare knowledge in the world? Trust me when I say that. So this academy was pushed back because Elder Lawya is actually in Africa right now. And guess what? It's going to start December 21st. So you may still have some time to enroll here. Don't miss out what everyone is talking about. Okay? Hebrew taught of the ancient Hebrew, not the modern day Yiddish. That stuff there, I played it for you last week with the guy. What was his name? Amru Fuddle, the guy who calls himself Myron Gaines, when he played that, the modern day Israelis how they speak. Boy, whew, that have nothing to do with our language. And there's nothing wrong with learning it, because it's good to have a gift of the tongues in different languages. But I can tell you, it's not fly. You're going to be speaking a bunch of, you're going to be adding some vowels and some of that vampire language and Latin stuff up in there. But here we actually teach you the actual ah, ba, ga, da, right? And it's very similar, believe it or not, to some of, let me put it like this. We go to school to learn the modern day English, and you see how most black people speak to each other without speaking to each other. And we go back to ebonics and things like that. Ebonics is a short term for ebony, which means black. Okay. We just go back to our body it literally tries to transition back to the origin of Hebrew, of how we make slang in languages and old languages. That's just how it always have been for us. I'm going to give you an example. All black people, no matter what they've learned in school, instead of saying I'm about to, they say finsta, finna. Let me tell you, and I can go on and on and on. Our nature is to go back to our origin of the Hebrew. Now here you can actually learn where all of the languages from the earth came from, which is ancient Phoenician Hebrew. So check that out on historytimes.org. All right. So this is where you can join with some powerful lessons, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Why Armageddon's purpose is key to hope. Dispelling common misconceptions about total annihilation. Revelations 21 and 22, God's explicit promise of a new heaven and earth. Christians have no clue about what's going on. So guess what? Why don't you just join our classes through the week, join our classes on the Sabbath? And let me tell you, it's nothing wrong with you joining and doing church on the Sabbath, because that's what God said. They made your Christian pastors, those 1,000 pastors, they made them to worship the Sabbath. So why did they not fight the Jewish people to worship on Sunday? If the Sabbath is on Sunday, they actually worshiped on the Sabbath. Right? So I'm just telling you the truth. That's what happened. Okay? So come in on the Sabbath and we'll still teach you on Sunday. But Sunday we teach a school or an academy where you can be caught up with everything that is going on in modern day prophecy today. We will tell you what happened in the past, okay, in the middle and in the end. All right? Yeah. Past, present, and future to come. The absence of tears, pain, and death. Literal promise. What daily life could look like in a perfectly restored world. The promise of harmony, abundance, and direct contact with the Most High God. Okay? These are going to be some of the lessons. Now, before the lesson, the proper lesson, we have an actual warm-up. Like I said, you get the Hebrew, you get to learn the Hebrew, and you also get world news to keep you up to date of what's going on in prophecy. Because you do not want to miss what's going on in prophecy. Okay? Sorry, trying to get my mic right. You don't want to miss what's going on in prophecy. Okay? If you just so happen to have work to do or you're working on Sunday, it's okay. The lessons are recorded and they're just for you, so you can come back and be able to see them, view them, and study them, okay? So, once again, it's a 3-month online Hebrew and Bible Academy course. You get PDF booklets to go along, so make sure that if you want to join, all you do is go to historytimes.org, okay? We are the Gathering of Christ Church. All righty. So if you want to ever check out our website, gatheringofchrist.org. You can learn about the holy days. You can get caught up to date, whatever. You can donate, okay, because we need all of the donations that we can get to continue to further the work of Christ, to bring the truth to the Jews and Gentiles alike. If you don't know who the Jews are, it's time for you to come and learn who the true Jews are. This is not any knock against the modern day Jewish people. Okay? Are they Jews? No. They're like Jews. They tell you that. They're Jewish only because they worship the Sabbath. Them converting into Judaism did not make them like us. Them worshiping the Sabbath made them like us. Christ did not make Judaism. So I just want to put that out there. And those conversions happened way before 1948. Okay? They happened way before 1948. You can get historical works of Josephus, the book of Josephus, who was there, okay, when all of those wars were going on, when the Romans captured our people in Jerusalem. Okay? I don't know how true it is, but I hear Mel Gibson is coming out to say that Christ was black. I don't know how true that is or not, but that's not nothing new on the other side of the world. People, if you traveled, the Romans will tell you that Christ is black. It's not about race. Our whole life we thought he was black. We thought he was white. But when we come to find out that he was black, we just felt like, this is why people always acted the way they acted around us. They were jealous. But we followed him wholeheartedly when we thought he was white the whole time. Now that we found out the truth, right? And the cat is out of the bag, people have an issue with it, unfortunately. But it's all good because we are forgiving people, and it does not, to a certain degree, matter his color on that level. It does matter his color when you're teaching lies, though, and we have to prove those lies wrong, unfortunately. Like I said, we're going to tell you, we don't hate anybody. We don't preach hate speech. We will baptize every Jewish person in the land of Israel. But they will tell you with their own mouth, they don't believe in Christ. They don't believe in Christ. Maybe some of the Messianic Jews might tell you they believe in Christ, but I'm going to tell you, most of those people over there do not believe in Christ. They will not believe in baptism. They are Talmudic doctrine following people. These are facts. That's not anything of anti-Semitism, because guess what? I am a Shem. I'm a Shemite, excuse me. Black people are Shemites. They can't be against themselves. Now, the world is against us. So whatever you want to call that, you can call that anti-whatever, but the world is against us from their actions, because actions speak louder than words. Right? So anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But I wanted to promote our Hebrew and Bible Academy, so I got sidetracked a little bit in a good way. So anyway, it's time to start our lesson because we're not going to be on long tonight. I do want to get straight to the point. All right. We have to fix this or else. Why am I stating it in such a manner? Well, because I'm going to tell you the truth. We were lost. Now we know who we are. We're coming to the knowledge of the truth. No one's going to know it overnight, but I really don't like to lean on these excuses. I like to put the information out and let each person or each family do their research and figure out what's best for them and their families. Okay? That's it. Very simple. Okay? That's all we can do. And I'm very grateful for the grace and the mercy that our God have given us through his son Yeshua to not have punished us, knowing that it would take time for us to come back and figure all of these things out. But to whom much is given, much is required. But it does take time. It takes finances. It takes patience. It takes a lot to try to come back the best we can and do the best we can to make it through these times. So if you can afford to do these things, if you have and if you can't, you can find another way possibly to do these things. And we're going to go through it tonight. First, let's get Proverbs 4:20 so you can understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. Okay, Proverbs 4:20, and it's not an easy thing, but we must bring the information out to show all of the things that they are doing in the dark against our people. And some of you already know some of them. So if you already know, so be it. It does have to come out for the rest of the people. And I think that you would still be interested in some of these things as well. Okay, we're not bringing this out for people's opinions. We're bringing it out for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding for those who don't know. Because a physician is for those who need to be made whole, not for those who think they know it all already. Okay? So, let us go to Proverbs 4:20. Really quick. My son, attend to my words, incline thine ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart. I'm sorry, Christians, it's not talking about this heart. When it's speaking of the heart, it's talking about the mind. Just so you know. Okay? It's literally talking about the mind. Where evil and good are present, not where it pumps blood. For they are life unto them that find them. What does this mean? They're going to be a treasure to those who think that they're a treasure in their mind. Those who think that the things tonight that come out are important, they're only going to be important to these people. And it's okay. Some people don't think it's that important, but if they suffer or they go through certain things, and we pray that they don't, for those who have ears, let them hear. We can only bring information out and people can take it or leave it. This thing is not for everybody. It's not going to make me mad. I'm not going to worry about it. I pray for everybody. But I can tell you, when I get new information, I try my best to educate myself, do a little research, and just try to get better as I can. Very simple. All right? So, to a fool, wisdom is trash. Just like when we bring out the homestead stuff. To some people who feel like they have it all together in their little apartment, who have it together in their little HOA, and they have it all together, to them, it's nothing. But unfortunately, it's hard to accomplish something at the last minute when you haven't been practicing the art. No, you're not hurting the people who's doing it. I'm just not going to do this, because, hey, you're not hurting me. I'm not going to let myself get caught up on bills and all this crazy stuff. I'm practicing the things that I know is going to keep us alive and keep a little money in our pocket. That means learning new skills, new things to keep us out of these death camps or these hospitals and not giving all of our money away so that we can fit in among the crowd. Why do you think so many people out there are inspired today by the natural ways of life? This is what they want to do, but they don't have the faith. So us who are doing it, learning it, practicing it, we inspire them so that may even probably bring them to the truth. When we post things like Sister Tabitha from Humble Servants Homestead, I only speak on her because this is one of the main people who's putting in the work. Her and her husband, Mike, I see doing it. Your rock out there, right? In the forest, in the woods, doing things. Myself and a few others. This inspires others to slowly. I have people calling me saying, people in my family, hey, can I stop by your farm one day? So I want to learn how to homestead to, me and my little wife want to learn how to homestead. I'm like, okay, no problem. Haven't seen you in a long time. It would be such a blessing. If that's going to bring somebody closer to the truth, Christ, whatever the case may be, I am all for it. So, hey, it may be for some people, it may not be for others. But guess what? You remember the old story about how the little red hen was baking that bread in elementary? Well, I'm sure a lot of you have watched what's that movie called Homestead, when everybody was showing up to his homestead because they knew that he had this and he had that, and his wife was trying to let everybody in. That's going to be a lot of people. A lot of people. And I'm going to tell you something. I sometimes at night so I get up usually in the morning. I work out very early. I come home. I deliver packages from Lyons Homestead. We work on Key. We homeschool. We garden. Whatever we have to do on the homestead. And after a long day of that, and churches, people calling me from church and problems and issues, that never stops. You a pastor. You are a pastor all day, no matter what time. Okay, and it's a beautiful thing. But after all that, I said, sometimes at night I'm going to go out and hunt a little bit, practice, because you don't want to be too rusty. And I'm not a professional with this, but my brother, you have people like my brother out there. You understand, doing this, doing the, he's a professional when it comes to this firearm thing. Him and his brother Yashar out there. But I get out there and I said, I'm going to, practice a little bit at night, and I turn on the red light, if you know what I mean, on that on my modern day sword. And I say, you know what? I ain't half too bad. Because when I put my mind, and when we as a people put our mind to something, we become pretty good. I said, the first night I set out, I said, I'm going to, in case there's a shutdown or whatever, or the grid goes down, I have to stay sharp with bow and arrows, with axes, with modern day sword, right? Because we use the Bible as a sword every day when we're going about. But in reality, you still have to use some carnality when you have to feed yourself, possibly one day. That means saving food, storing things, and possibly even hunting or protecting your goods. So I said, I'm going to practice from about 25 to 30 yards out at night where it's very cold. Like I told a lot of people, I like to stay comfortable getting uncomfortable. Okay, my name is Lion, so I'm very good at creeping up on people without being known. That's a pretty good talent of mine. So I'm just going to say it like that. But I was trying to get this old possum that was trying to come around my house at 3:00 in the morning all the time, which is it's totally annoying. But he seems to not come out now that I turn the red light on at night. It's a Cyclops red light, if you know what I mean. Okay, on the modern day sword. So the one-eyed Cyclops red light. And so I said, I'm going to give this to my chickens so they can get a little extra protein. So I got me a little bird at night. And I'm not going to lie to you. The YNs need 100 rounds. I only needed 1 round for each of these animals. Thank the Lord who blessed my hands to war. So the first night, I think I'm about 30, 40 yards out. Boom, I hit the little bird. He's just sitting there on the ground. Bow. And then I hit the rabbit. Bow. Okay. So I wait a day. I go again the other night after a long day of work. I said, no, I know I'm tired. I want to stay out here and do it again. And so I see a rabbit who was always trying to eat my garden veggies, always. And got one rabbit. Pow, one shot. Okay. And I'm about 15, 30 minutes searching for the next rabbit. Can't find him. So before I get ready to retire, and my cows and my sheeps are looking at me, and they looking at me like this Negro is outright crazy. And so when I get ready to retire, I see him. Okay, bow. And so I go tell my son. I said, I know it's cold. Let me tell my son Caleb to come outside, because Caleb's the warrior. So I bring Caleb out, and I said, come on, get my spoils, son, so he can learn, or whatever the case may be. And I said, one day I'm going to show you how to do this. So get ready. And I feel like the Most High wanted him to see his daddy in action. So he says he has a really good eye when it comes to seeing bugs and just things out of. He has a really good eye to see everything around him. Very circumspect young man. And he says, "Oh, there's one. There go another one right there. And I said, shh. I had closed everything up. I had closed my scope and everything up. So I turned on, I opened up Cyclops on the top of my modern day sword, turned on the red light Cyclops. And I put the eye on the little bunny, like it ain't funny. And there you go. One shot. So I got 3 that night. And I took the skins, because I'm going to use them skins. Y'all know I'll be coming with that fur. That fur. I love that fur, man. That fur. We're going to talk about that fur tonight. How important it is. I mean, well, I'm not going to say important, but how the natural things are way better than the modern day synthetic things. So that's what I've been doing. Practicing being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Okay? I hear people talking about the ads. Maybe you guys are going to have to subscribe to YouTube Premium or something. I don't know, but just bear with us. Maybe they're allowing us to get monetized all of a sudden. But you guys, I'm just tell you, just be patient, because everything else you watch has ads. So have a little patience and let patience have her perfect works, because if we can be monetized, I would love it, because we do need as much support as we can. I would hope we get monetized on Egg Gathering 144, get monetized on G.O.C.C. Media. As hard as it is to get donations and things like that, we can never get enough. And our church can say that, because we actually put the work in for the people. So we would love to get monetized. So please be patient. All right. So if you don't like the ads, I would love for you guys to donate more to help us out. Okay. So I'm sorry to tell you, it will be a blessing. I'm just telling you. So you guys should appreciate the fact that we can actually get monetized, because we couldn't get monetized if it wasn't for you. So you are complaining about ads, but you helped us to get monetized by watching us and supporting us. Think about that. So we couldn't have done it without each other. See, people don't be thinking before they speak. You got to be careful with complaining and murmuring, because that's going to cause you death in the wilderness. So just be careful about it. Okay? So anyway, I just brung all these things out to say, stay encouraged, stay motivated, stay positive, and practice learning new skills that will be used off grid. I'm telling you, you're going to need them. We will not even go into Christ's kingdom until the 7-year war and roundup is finished. People just think, oh, I want to go to the wilderness, like it's just some good thing. It ain't bad, but it's not, it ain't what you see in your own house. We'll be grateful because we will be out of harm's way. We will be safe. But guys, it's still the wilderness. It's still bugs and whatever. And I'm not saying that like it's negative, but the reality is no man would choose to live outside compared to living in a house. That's just the reality of it. So let's appreciate every moment we have, every moment to learn, every moment with each other, every moment to do these holy days, every moment to be able to do whatever we have, every moment to have finances, being that people are losing their jobs and things right now. We need to be grateful that our Father is allowing us to be able to make it through this and be able to endure to the end is what I'm saying, okay? So like I said, let's go back to Proverbs 4 and 22. For they are life unto those that find them. They are life to those who seek these things out. People think that the Holy Spirit, when you get it, is just like free. You have to work for the Holy Spirit. You work to get to the point to decide to make a covenant with the Most High in Christ. He said you'll get the gift of the Holy Spirit. When you read Wisdom of Solomon, you have to knock on the door. It says, those who rise early find me. Meaning those who actually go out of their way find her. Just like we're reading here. For they are life unto those that find them. If you don't do the research and you're just one of those people, hey, how we do this? And you're never going to do research on your own to help yourself. I'm sorry. You will always be a consumer. You will always be at the bottom. No offense. It's all good. But some things you need to be responsible enough to make yourself great with your family. Some things you need to go out your way to do that. Some people don't want to do anything. The elders are going to take care of everything. What if there ain't no phone around? What if they shut everything down? Can't nobody get to nobody? All the things we was teaching. What are we supposed to do? I thought the Most High had us. He did have you. He was having his elders teach lessons to teach you things to do. He was having all of these people on YouTube do things that you can learn from. Having people write books, skill books, and all of these things for you to do to help yourself. So we're going to have to fix these things, these certain type of things about us. Let's jump down to the end of verse 22. It says, and health to all their flesh. It's going to be health to all your flesh. If you're diligent enough, like we're going to read here. Keep your heart with all diligence. Keep your mind focused. That's what it's talking about here. Get your mind right. Stop worrying. Don't worry about what somebody's talking about out there to distract you. You going out to eat too much. You're on social media too long or for the wrong things. Okay? So I put that out there because, once again, we have to fix this or else. You're going to have to pay for it. The man who held the talent that Christ said, and when Christ came back, he didn't do anything. He was angry with him. And when I go into this tonight, like it says in Wisdom of Solomon 1:12-13, to seek not death in the era of your life. I'm saying that because a lot of things we're going to go into tonight, some people are going to say, well, what are we supposed to do? Man, I just give up. I just quit. No, don't seek death in the era of your life just because you're frustrated because things are not going your way. We were put into captivity, guys. Things were not going to be okay. We were going to have to do our best to make it from point A to point B because of our forefathers' sins, proving our God's word to be right, okay? The first point I want to talk about tonight, for style and for health, we're going to talk a little bit about this linen, this 100% cotton, and wool. So let me get my first link here really quick. Let me get it really quick for you guys. We're also going to be talking about women's bras. We're all adults here. This is important things we're going into tonight. So let's go to fabrics affect muscle function really quick. There's this gentleman on YouTube, and I like some of the people who expose things and give information on certain health things. And you guys probably have seen this before. But for those who haven't, you definitely need to see it. As a matter of fact, it's showing it in the wrong. I'm going to put it on this. There we go. Turn the volume up. This is for fair use, YouTube, and for educational purposes only. Fabrics affect even the muscle function. It's what it's here. All right. This is a study, October 2022, fibers and textiles in Eastern Europe. All right. So, and it says, as you read here, practically all athletic wear. And once again, I am not condemning anybody. I am not telling anybody to throw everything away tomorrow. You have to do what's best for you. I couldn't do it overnight. But personally, it took me, I think, about close to a year to finally do enough research to say, you know what, I can't work out in any plastic anymore. I can't. Knowing what it does and how hard I work and how people get rashes, men can get rashes in their growing areas, women, all that under your underarms, all of these places where we sweat, this is very important for us to understand. You probably think it's nothing, but there was not plastic before. I had to eventually take all of the plastic, for the most part, out of my house. I still have a few BPA things in there, but the reason why I have some of those things, barely, things like sandwich bag, because I am not going to heat anything up in those items. Those items will not be heat up. In modern day society, you will never get rid of all plastic. My main thing is when this plastic starts to heat up on the skin or whatever you're dealing with your food, this is where it becomes dangerous. But tonight, we're going to focus more so on clothing. So if you have BPA-free plastics, it's all good. But I really got rid of most of mine. I had to get glass Tupperware, glass jars. I had some of that stuff, but I really moved to copper. And you have to know about all of these different metals in these glass. You have to know about all these things. But it's a step-by-step learning and research for you and your family. And you do not have to be anal or go crazy. Just take your time. Let patience have her perfect works. All right? So let's talk about it.
Compared muscle function in the forearms. 12 male volunteers aged 24 to 27 wore long sleeve shirts made of linen for about 5 hours and then wore similar shirts made of polyester for another 5 hours. No negative changes in muscle functioning were observed when the test subjects wore the natural linen fabric shirts. A range of muscle disruptions occurred when the men wore the polyester shirts. The synthetic fiber created an electrostatic field emission over the surface of the muscle, which the natural fabric didn't create. Covering the surface of the forearm caused the temperature to increase significantly in the subject's dress in the synthetic clothing. Conduction velocities in the motor fibers within the nerve branches of the muscle underwent a lower amplitude when test subjects wore the synthetic shirt. Temporarily covering the tested forearm muscles with synthetic clothing changes the pattern of motor unit activity. This is expressed by the low frequency spontaneous activity of the muscle fibers during the state of...
Brother, I really don't want to talk about things that's not having to do with the show, sir. But yes, spirulina is safe to consume. But I really don't want to talk about, if you don't mind, things that have nothing to do with the show right now, because I don't know if you guys know, I really can't read everything in the chat just yet. So maybe I can open it up for calls later, or I can do a call in just for these things.
Rest or by diminished high frequency activity of the muscle units during the voluntary movements, and may lead to a greater tendency to fatigue while wearing the synthetic garments. An eye-opening study from 2001 compared...
So they did a study. This is a real study. Putting on plastic for people who think that our body is not alive. We have lactobacillus all over our skin. Which means it's almost like a living organism of probiotics that just lives on the surface of our skin. So when they're doing chemtrails and they're dealing with all types of chemicals and toxins in the air and around people and things like that, a lot of these things can actually affect us negatively. People think that the skin, like just because something comes on the skin, is not going to harm you. Well, it can actually bypass your liver when things go to your skin and get through your body faster. So your liver is not filtering it. Oh, no worries, my brother, Yakad. No worries. I just can't. I would love to answer your question. I don't want to not answer y'all's questions. I can't see the chat and kind of focus sometimes, or it'll throw me off a little bit. Forgive me. So, but you do be careful with some of the spirulina, because sometimes, some things may have a little heavy metals or whatever. So just know the source where you're getting it from. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, let me get back on point before I lose my thought. The plastics or the polyesters, they actually take away from a person's strength, because things can be absorbed through the skin very easily, especially when the plastic is starting to heat up. Not just in the sun. The sun is worse. Notice when you wear rubber boots outside, how you feel your feet starting to cook, starting to heat up. It actually takes a lot of energy from your body. The little rubber rain boots. Yes, this is what happens. If you ever worn them in the hot sun, you'd be like, man, why do I feel so exhausted? Take them off, put on some regular shoes, you do not feel exhausted anymore. Okay, that's just one example, especially if you wore them in 90-degree heat before. It's okay. All you have to do is get some different type of work boots, and I am hopefully going to be providing some things, and the things that I can't provide, I'm going to send you elsewhere. But I'm going to tell you, no matter where you go, you're going to, if you're buying a good pair of barefoot like boots, you're going to pay at least $100+ between 200 and between 100. My hiking barefoot shoes this is not from my company. I paid almost $200 for them. They cost more than Jordans, and they are better than Jordans for our foot. I have not had one foot issue wearing barefoot at all. My body has taken about 6 to 12 months to align back when it comes to my posterior chain and all that, and it's much more fine. So just to put it out there, when it comes to fabrics and things like that, for people who think it's not that deep, because we can run and we can jump and we can play basketball, it is that deep because you pay for it after your 40s. Trust me what I'm saying. Okay? So I know people like to wear their little heels and all of this. I don't like my wife in heels personally. I just don't. That's my opinion. I'm not saying people who wear heels are evil or bad. I've had women before. I get it, but it gives you hammer time. That's why you get them bunions in the heels, and it's going that way. The same shape of the heel is the same. It will be the same shape of your toe. Hammer time. And what's going to happen is it's just going to give you a bunion, and it's not meant for the toes to look that way. But do what you got to do. If you're wearing one day, maybe it's not going to mess you up for one day. I'm not against anybody doing what they want to do. I'm just telling you the information. Okay? Putting plastic on your body will stop your strength. It will stop your signals to your neurotransmitters and all that. This is what plastic does. And you're talking about a person who worked out for years and wore it. You've ever noticed, guys, when you've worn like the cheap plastics? I mean, I used to live in Egypt, so I know. They make some of the cheapest freaking plastic wear of sportswear out there, and they have different copies from China. You can get the first copy, the second copy, or the third copy. Crazy work, how they say on the East Coast. Crazy work. Yeah, they got a dollar store with levels. You can get the first copy, the second copy, or the third copy. The first copy, it might last you about a year. Second copy, it might last you about 6 months. Third copy, it'll last you 3 days to a week. So this is how this stuff goes. Some of their clothing, you're thinking you're just buying clothing for price and it looks good on the outside. That's how we were brought up. That's just how we were brought up to survive. We'd rather not spend so much money unless we just want to spend it on things we like. But some of this, what is this? This polyester type of stretch clothing? Man, if you've ever done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and you're training in this stuff, I used to do it when I was overseas. I was learning it from this guy. And I would go, I think I was learning from him about 6 months. So I would go to him, and the Egyptians already don't bathe like that really much. So when I'm practicing with them, I'm like, some of their sweat is going to get on you because you're tussling and stuff like that when you're practicing. And I was like, yo, this is not my smell. And some of these smells, even when your own perspiration gets in it, the bacteria in this clothing is very, very hard to remove. Very, very hard to remove. So I started to learn, okay, I didn't know about plastics and all of this stuff back then. I just thought it was a shirt. Obviously, later in life, you start to look into it. No wonder it's a greenhouse effect going on in the underarms and this clothes. No matter how much chemicals I'm putting to try to get it out, it will not come out. That shirt had to get tossed in the fire. Pretty much. It has to go. So that's how bad it comes to when these plastics are sweating. So I had to invest, and this is just me. I took some time out little by little to research because it's very rare. Some of us are going to have to start learning to sew some things like the East Indians and the Asians. Trust me. When it comes to textile, they still got it on lock. But I'm afraid when it comes to some of these things, because I don't trust them, that they're putting a lot of chemicals and dyes in a lot of this stuff. So it's all good. We're going to talk about that as well. But I still rather you, according to the video, try to wear what our forefathers wore as much as you can. Obviously, nobody can necessarily in every moment wear some linen inside of the wintertime. That's where there's 100% cotton. That's where there's 100% wool. And once again, it's easier said than done. Okay? It's easier said than done. But for the athletes, I wanted to put it out there. Okay? I wanted to put it out for the athletes. Well, I guess now they have the donate thing. I didn't know that. Thank you, Marcus Fuqua, and whoever donates to the church. It just goes to the church for the work, okay? It don't come to me, so y'all know it ain't coming to me. It's going to the work for the people. All right. So anyway, I was talking to AC about that tonight. He was saying that they were allowing us to do all of these things now. All praises. We appreciate everything. But if I don't pay attention and say thank you in every moment, I just want you guys to know I really do appreciate you. If you do donate, when the Most High blesses you. All praises be to the Most High. So this is very, very, very important and very powerful information. I do want to go to the next video, however, though. So once again, for the sports players, men, all we have is our strength. So the last thing we want is for our strength to be taken away from. That's why sometimes I do work out on the outside. Okay. Yeah. You have to. Yeah. It's the largest organ on the body. Like this person just said, you have to be careful what you put on it. I don't put on lotion. That's when we were in the ghettos and the hoods. I am not putting on lotion. I am putting on something that's my body can eat. If I can't put it in my mouth and eat it, I'm not putting it on my body. That's me, though. Even everything that I have on my Lion's Homestead, all of my essential oils are food grade. All of my essential oils are not aromatic. They're not fragrances. Mine's I can actually put in my mouth. So I love my neighbor as I love myself. I'm going to give you something I would use and put in my mouth. So what I put on my skin, coconut oil, shea butter, things like that. Now, am I eating shea butter? No, but if you can actually put it, you can deal with that. But that's just not something that people eat. But you get what I'm saying, right? It's edible. So things that will be living and not kill off my natural layer that the Most High blessed me of lactobacillus and whatever other beautiful organisms are on my skin. Just so you guys know. We don't want to kill those off. So I don't care what Edom and Asians say, this doesn't have this, it's anti this. I'm not putting that on my baby either. I don't care about Jergens and Gergens and whoever is out there. And I'm not saying you don't have to do that. Guess what? I'm going to make my own and put it on my babies. Or I'm going to hit up Miss Katie Naturals and use her stuff because I know she is making natural things. So either we make it ourselves. I'm talking about tallow, coke. When I say coconut oil, I'm not talking about the one that you cook with. I'm talking about the one that's actually living. You want to try to put something living on your arm. If you put the coconut oil on your arm that is not living, you're going to feel the difference of putting the one that's actually living on there. I'm not talking about putting no MCT oil on your skin. That ain't going to do nothing. That's not living coconut oil anymore. I put olive oil on my body, something that I can eat. Now, I do know in the winter or the heat, I may not want to put one or the other on. Sometimes olive oil may get a little heavy. So then I will use a light oil like coconut oil or castor, whatever. Everyone knows how to make their own mixtures, guys. I'm not here to go through every oil. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, you use what you like. You put your little essential oils, or if you don't have time or you don't know how to do it, you have people like KDNaturals.com who makes beautiful things to put on the body. All right, just want to put it out there. how important it is to not, as much as we can, wear plastic. I had to take it all out of my closet, but if it ain't silk, if it ain't cotton, wool, linen, I don't wear it anymore. I just don't. And it took me some time financially to be able to do it. And it's still not easy to find a lot of these things. It's just not easy. But I like to do my research. I will take time out of my day to make sure that what I put on this beautiful body the Most High gave me, that it's on point as much as I can. So if you give me a shirt, I'm sorry to tell you, I might hang it up, but I will not wear it if it's not 100% cotton. And that is no offense to you. I really appreciate everything, but it must be at least 100% cotton or 100% linen. That's just where I'm at in life right now. I wasn't always there, but I'm getting a little older and my health is very important. And some of these videos is going to show you why in a second. All right, let's go to the next video we have here. So the first one was fabrics and muscle function. Fabrics and muscle function. And I'm blessed to be on this show because I was a little tired tonight. So I wasn't going to come on, but I made it through. Okay, 1 second. It already started playing. What is going on? One minute. 1 second. Why is it playing already and not even? It's not letting me even like. One moment. Let me see what's going on with this video here. What is going on now? How can we do this? Can we, let me see. How about we do it like that? Let's see if that's going to work. One moment, people. I don't know why it's not. Will it play on this one for me? Good Father of mine. I'll tell you what. Okay, so where is this one playing from? Let me see. Sorry, guys. I don't know what was happening. But for some reason on this player, it does not want to play. So maybe I would do it. Let me see. Is it going to play on this one here then? If y'all give me one moment to fix this. I have to let y'all be able to see this. So let me go into, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. We're going to go to, thank you for your patience. And we're going to see, will it play for us like that? Okay, let's transition it. Let me see, do you guys see that? Do you guys see that? Okay, so it, for some reason, it would not show me on the other player, so just bear with me. Fair use.
In the Journal of the American Medical Association and elsewhere documented how bras that are manufactured with spandex fibers can cause skin problems in some bra wearers due to contact with the chemicals used in the production process that remain in the garments. Breast cancer specialists are in general agreement that about 85% have no inherited genetic predisposition, which means that unhealthful lifestyle choices and the absorption of environmental pollutants account for the vast majority of breast cancer cases, whether those chemicals are in cosmetics, skincare products, or clothing. When toxins enter through the mouth and end up in the intestines, they're channeled by the blood into the liver, where detoxification naturally occurs. When toxins are absorbed through the skin, however, they bypass the liver. In fact, as toxicology specialist Dr. Samuel Epstein states in his 2009 book, Toxic Beauty, medical evidence exists that human skin is even more permeable than the nutrient-absorbing intestines, which makes the skin the primary way that toxins invade the body. Beginning in 1967, a series of studies in the Journal of the American Medical Association and elsewhere documented how bras that are manufactured with spandex fibers can cause skin problems in some bra wearers due to contact with the chemicals used in the production process that remain in the garments. Breast cancer specialists are in general agreement that about 85% have no inherited genetic predisposition, which means that unhealthful lifestyle choices and the absorption of environmental pollutants account for the vast majority of breast cancer cases, whether those chemicals are in cosmetics, skincare products, or clothing. When toxins enter through the mouth and end up in the intestines, they're channeled by the blood into the liver, where detoxification naturally occurs. When toxins are absorbed through the skin, however, they bypass the liver. In fact, as toxicology specialist Dr. Samuel Epstein states in his 2009 book, Toxic Beauty, medical evidence exists that human skin is even more permeable than the nutrient-absorbing intestines, which...
So I wanted to put that out there really quick because it's very, very important that our people know this. I want to show something one day how, especially sisters, when a sister wakes up in the morning, how she is basically causing cancer to her own self through all of these products every day. For example, we can't go through everything, but when it comes to certain toenail polish, when it comes to lipstick, oh man, lipstick. If you do the research on lipstick and and how they turn it red, boy. Let me tell you something right now. Your perfume, your fragrance, when it comes to parasites, I'm not saying people can't smell good, but there's a natural way to do everything. When it comes to fragrances is obviously synthetic and artificial. We're not saying people can't smell good, but I'm telling you, the reality is, I like to stick with the biblical things of essential oils. I like to stick with essential oils. And there's a way to do that without actually absorbing things through the skin, because parasites like a lot of these fragrances and things like that. The undergarments the sisters put on, like the bras and the panties and things like that, right? The stockings are plastic if you're wearing stockings. You put on certain type of shoes. So I know people, like I said in the beginning with the scripture, well, what are we supposed to do? No, we learn because the Holy Spirit is covering us to a certain degree. And when we know better, we eventually do better when we can. But the Holy Spirit, until you can, you're going to be okay. The scripture said that we shall eat poisons and not die. It's just, you have to be open-minded. You can't close it off just because you can't solve it. In your mind, you're saying you can't solve it, but you actually can solve it. When you tell yourself you can't do something, don't forget, yes, the brain is made of mostly water. And the reason I'm saying that is because, thank you very much. Sorry about that. The reason I'm saying this, ooh, that's that beautiful kombucha. Sorry. The reason I'm saying this is because I kind of lost my thought, but it tastes so good. Anyway, you have to, when you know better, you have to do better. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Because when it comes to all of these cancers and these sicknesses and these diseases, a lot of these things we're causing into ourselves. The scripture says that we shall eat poisons and not die. It takes time. It takes time. Now, if the Most High sees that you've learned something and you're being ignorant, why should he continue to protect you? If Christ came to heal you and he said, sin no more, think about it. He healed you to sin no more. Why would someone heal you to go back and you do the same thing? Does that make any sense? Sin no more also has lower levels. Don't live the same lifestyle. Don't continue the same things that are going to get you sick. If you've ever had an ailment, a grave ailment that will kill you, what do you actually do? You refrain from things that can actually kill you and take you out. And it seems like for us that we have to learn the hard way a lot of times. And a lot of times we learn through other people's mistakes or misdiagnosis, whatever the case may be. There's so many ways or things that can happen to us. But you should refrain from doing things that will take you out, because it will not help you to endure to the end. Whether it's a thorn in your side or not, like Paul had, we have to stay disciplined in order to make it through this thing. We will live. Man shall not only live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out the mouth of the Most High. That's wisdom. That's wisdom. So if you can't eat something and you're mad, you've gotten something taken out of yourself, but you can't eat the same thing, you still eat it, what do you think was going to happen? Christ said when he heals you to sin no more. He said when he heals you, you can't do the same thing. When a doctor heals you, the doctor's going to tell you, you can't do those same things anymore. So if you do them, that have nothing to do with the Most High. That has something to do with you. So I know a lot of people like, hey, well, I got to smell good. Hey, we do have to smell good. We dang sure can't be smelling like smell-o-vision. My wife told me that earlier. I said, yeah, that's East Indians all day. We can't be smelling like smell-o-vision. In some of these third world countries, I get it. They try to be too natural. I'm not telling y'all try to be natural on that level. Well, we walking out this joint smelling fishy and like it's that time of the month and all that. I've lived on the other side of the world, because let me tell you, it's rough. You get on the bus, you got an Egyptian woman sitting next to you. And let me tell you, when it come to bathing and stuff, that they just do it when they feel like it. I'll just tell you that. And I'm not even joking. I wish I can tell you I'm joking. A lot of y'all be thinking when I say stuff I'm trying to joke. I've been telling y'all some literal stuff that it just so happened to be funny to some of y'all. When I'm sitting on the bus and it's somebody's time of the month and the whole bus is smelling, it's like, bruh. They get up and put on makeup and they know they ain't bathed, and they be looking crazy like Walking Dead. It be crazy out here. It make a man like, man, whew, don't want to get married out here, boy. I used to tell bro, I'm like, y'all better be careful on this side of the world. It's real. Anyway, be careful what we put in our bodies. Let's continue. Get back to my notes. I want to go and talk about really quick, because our sisters also have to realize that they've been hitting your uterine areas and all, when people have uterine fibroids and all of these type of things. Why do sisters think that? Let me tell y'all, why do y'all think that we brought out iodine? For those of you who watched the iodine lesson, one of the main reasons for iodine was the sisters. Obviously, brothers need it too. I ain't going without my iodine. That's you need that. You don't go without that. And I hear a lot of people, I get it in this. You don't get it in that. I'm sorry to tell you, you other people in the chat who, you can get it from this and do it. No, you can't. You will not get enough of it. I can tell the people who be saying it, all I got to do is go to your page and tell you and look at you and tell you, no offense, but I can tell when a person's healthy. Okay, I'm in this business, so I know what goes on. A lot of people trying to throw out herbs and try to tell you what to do. Listen, everybody don't know what they're talking about. They will end up telling you to take a herb, you lose your baby. They will end up telling you to take a herb that conflicts with the medicine your doctor gave you. They will end up telling you to take a herb that conflicts with other herbs. These are fools. These are know-it-alls that know nothing at all, because they want to seem deep, like they're in the know. Everybody who has a herb book is not a herbal doctor. No. Okay? You've read something that says, this can do this. That don't mean you know what you're doing when you're telling them to give it to them. That don't mean you have the experience. You talking about a person who... And I can't say what I've done on here, but I'm going to tell you. The people can tell you. Okay? So be very careful. Just listen to anybody. Can you pick up a herb book and get in there? But you got to be careful and know what you're doing. You take the wrong herb too much and see what happens. You take too much mint, it will not have been meant to be. Or would it have? It will mess up your stomach lining. So just be wise out here, okay? So let's go to our next video really quick. Be careful with these women products out there. Sisters, be careful with these women products. Tell you right now. These pads and all that, be careful with this stuff. It's a lot of things y'all should already know, but if you don't know, I'm telling you. I know it's inconvenient for you to want to deal with it, but I'm going to have my wife on Lion's Homestead, our little homestead channel, show how when it comes to some of these pads of cleaning them and stuff like that, there's things out there that takes all of this stuff out that a lot of sisters is worried about. Hebrews are going to be successful when they do stuff. Okay, they're going to be very successful. And because you don't want to clean some with chemicals and then you put these same chemicals right back on in your secret parts. Defeats the purpose. They want to annihilate the king that's coming out of these women. That's why sisters are having all of these uterine fibroids. That's why they're having all of these to remove all of this parts, down there that are supposed to be a treasure to them for their husbands and their future legacy for their husband. They're trying to destroy our sisters. And our sisters are arguing with the men who the men is telling them, I don't need all that. And listen, I personally, as a man, women are beautiful in so many different type of ways. But I'm going to be honest with you. Me as a man, in my opinion, from a child, I personally don't need and I don't want. I like everything natural as much as possible. And I'm going to tell you, even with dreads, it might sound crazy to you. I love how dreads get done and parted and all that. But personally, if you got that baby hair, that's me. That's just me. Every man got his own taste. But if you got that baby hair and the dreads is still not even done, and it just brings it out, the natural look. Because if you overdo your dreads anyway, your hair gonna fall out. If you're doing your dreads every week, your hair is going to fall out. I'm just telling you the truth. It's going to fall out. It's going to weaken. So you're going to have to wear that comfortable, natural style. And us real men, I don't need you to have the white tips. If you do get them, I like the white tips. I like the basics. And if you don't have it, keep the nails clean, keep the feet clean. I personally don't want to give my money to no Chinese. I'd rather my daughters do my wife's nails or she do it. I don't want to give my money to no Gentiles. I do not want to give my money to Gentiles. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. Okay? And then the sisters is coming back with cancers and all of this because they putting all these chemicals in the barbershops for the men, the beauty supply, all this stuff, all these products that they say natural on it. This stuff is not natural. Trust me. I used to get these little genuine perms, and I'm like, listen, I already got nice hair. I'm good on all this. Right? These little S curls and all this stuff, when they talk about the pretty boy style and all that, I'm like, listen, I don't need all that. Even at my young age. This stuff could cause straight cancer and hair to fall out and all this stuff. Right? I'm going to tell you, the just for me section is just for you to die. It's just for you to die. All right. I hope y'all don't mind. I eat me a little. It's my show. I'm eating me a little popcorn because we getting it popping up in here, baby. All right. So let's get to this next situation here. I like the basics. Most men ain't telling you to get all that stuff, and then you get mad at them. He like, listen, baby, you thinking he just don't want to spend the money. He's telling you what he want. Do you want this for you? Or do you want it for him? I think the woman is fine in her most natural state. I'm not telling her to be looking like just anything. You're gonna have to put it together. You're gonna have to put it together. I ain't saying don't put on no, put on whatever this little stuff you be doing with these little eyelashes and all that. I get all that. I like chapstick. I don't like lipstick. That's me though. I'm not saying people who have lipstick is bad. I don't need the makeup. You put you a little oil on, get you a little sun, and let that vibrant heat hit that vibrant face and let it glow. That's me. That's what I like. I don't need all of this weave and all of this extra stuff popping off. Not only that, I don't want it. I'd rather you wear a head wrap with some earrings and look like a queen, and I'm cool with that. And I'm cool with being patient until your hair grows while you're taking care of it. I am actually cool with that. Don't come out here looking like no Felicia on Friday now, because then I'm going to have to see you next Friday. Now we got a problem. Well, you said you like it natural. Hold up. That's not natural. That's niggerdom. Okay, so that's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about Felicia on Friday. So I'm just telling you, most men like simple things. We don't want to give our money to Gentiles if we don't have to. We're not saying you're never going to need to go out to a ball. We understand every blue moon. We get it. We get it. One day is not going to kill a person. But it ain't a wedding every day. I love, and most men, I have to speak for most men because I know our men, we love the natural thing. Why you think men is posting all of this stuff online saying, be careful with the sisters who's taking off all of this Halloween costume? Why you think they're saying that? And then these sisters talking about, well, he just want a plain Jane. How she get him? That's what he wants. That's the beauty of how the Most High made him in the beginning. Sisters want what the world wants now. And men ain't supposed to want that. If a sister had her face burned, if a sister had something going on with her face, that's what makeup is for. And then you got to go find a natural makeup. If a sister had something that happened to her when she was young through her ignorance because her hair couldn't grow, they permed it, it got burned, that's what that stuff is for, the wigs and all that. But people who don't need it, you ain't supposed to have it. Because guess what? I got to give these sisters some grace because maybe they didn't have anyone to teach them, take care of their hair. They didn't know what to do. They still need to look pretty. That's for them. And they're still pretty and beautiful. And guess what? That's where grace comes in for those people. Now, I would try to get something that's natural as possible. And I would try to heal my hair with natural essential oils and castor oils and whatever the case may be in my diet, iodine and all that. I would try to make sure that I get those things together. But people who don't even need this stuff, you be having sisters with long hair to the waist wearing weave. I'm like, I'm done. I like the natural afros. What happened to the afros? Sisters are ashamed. That was, let me tell you, all white women even wanted to have an afro. Their hair couldn't stand up to get one. And that doesn't mean anything's wrong with them. You've been able to have an afro and straighten your hair to get it long and straight. You was able to have something that's universal. So appreciate what God have given you. Now to right, really quick, let's see. Will it allow me to put this one there? If not, I'll show you on the same. Nope, it won't. So, okay. We will show it where it's allowing us to, because we have to show it. One moment. Fair use for educational purposes only. Turn the volume up.
Elizabeth Vaughn. She began to notice a relationship between the development of breast lumps and cysts and the wearing of bras. She personally treated more than 100 women who, in her words, chose to go bra-free after yet another biopsy of a lump in their breasts or aspiration of a cyst. Over 3 to 6 months, their breast cysts and lumps got smaller and less tender, and they developed no new lumps that we could detect. This observation has since been demonstrated in practice by other healthcare providers. Breast cysts may be one of the flashing red warning signals for the onset of breast cancer. It was found that premenopausal women with breast cysts had nearly a 6-fold increased risk of breast cancer. That shouldn't come as a surprise given that most women wear bras that are much too tight for them and have worn them this way since they received their first training bra as a young girl. According to the Johns Hopkins Breast Center, as many as 80% of women are actually wearing a bra that is the wrong size for them. A chronic condition that can produce health problems, particularly in the backs of women with large breasts. And you don't need to be a Sherlock Holmes to connect this, that the impairment of lymphatic drainage, breast cysts, and breast cancer may be linked. With Dr. Elizabeth Vaughn,
One moment. So, she's not the only one. We've had to help a lot of women with what they were talking about with the big C word there when it comes to that. A lot of women did not know the stealth warfare, the spiritual stealth warfare and chess game that these people play. You have to be careful with the Chinese. You have to be careful with the Arabs, the East Indians, and the Africans. These Gentiles are scammers. They're doing the same thing that they were doing to our people in the ancient times. These bras have a lot of plastic on them. They put a lot of chemicals on them on purpose. Invest in you a good bra. Invest. You're going to invest $100 at that restaurant, $200, wherever you're going to show off with your little camera on your little Instagram for your post. Invest in you some good bras. 100% cotton, preferably organic cotton if you can get it. Okay? Even when it comes to good clothes, we're going to talk about how they, things that are good or not. We don't know if they're putting other things in there, so we'll talk about that soon in a second. Invest in you some good bras. 100% cotton. Trust me. Now, you see the African women, they wear the little ties, but we're in America. You can't walk to the 9 to 5 and you got the tie type of vibe on. Right? You can't walk to the J.O.B. like that. So the next best thing is use a little grace and get you a really good bra. Not that people should be just wearing this linen wraps that they wear in Africa, but I'm just telling you, out in public, of course not. But that's not realistic where we stay. Get you 100% cotton or wool bra. They sell them. Realistically, for finances, cotton. Okay. Now, if you got, I'm gonna tell you, you better off even if you have 90% cotton with a little spandex on a strap or something like that. Because some things are going to have to stretch. That's just the reality of everything. But where your sweat glands and things like that are, you don't want any plastic. Maybe on your waist, maybe something strapped here. Okay, use a little grace there. Okay, because all of you know when you wash cotton and things like that, how this stuff reacts. Sometimes you can't dry it if you want it to last long. We're going to have to work with this thing. We're in a whole new world, a whole new society. Okay, how it comes with the little what you call a little coca bugs that comes on some of the cloth and all that. You got to get the little thing and be able to scrape it. We got to know how to take care of some of this stuff. Learning how to sew, learning how to do things like that. But trust me, if you have daughters, invest in those cotton bras. Trust me, invest in the natural time of the month situations, and make sure you get that from a good place, or teach them how to sew them or whatever. But it's very important. It's so much research out there when it comes to hormonal imbalance. Cycle starting too early, too late, all over the place because they're starting these babies with these chemicals in their diapers at an early age. So even when you buy diapers, if you want to have diapers, you're going to, and what I'm saying, if all you can afford is what all you can afford, pray to the Father to give you grace to protect you until you can get it. But there's diapers that you can get if you're going to go the diaper route that are good diapers. And as I learned throughout the years, I had only bought good diapers. Please stop typing in the ad thing for us. We can't control it, guys. I apologize, man. But like I said, when you're watching your YouTube stuff, guess what? You're watching it. So what I suggest you do, if you don't like that, just pay for YouTube Premium. I don't know how many ads are in there, but I'm just telling y'all, I need y'all to understand and stay focused here. Are we gonna dang on complain like little children? Come on now. Don't interrupt my show with this complaining, please. I know y'all want to still see the show, but there's nothing I can do about it. I told y'all that. I apologize, but I don't have control over it. Would you rather the church not get supported? You're not going to tell that to your other YouTube channel. Please, guys. Okay? There's nothing I can do about it. Our church needs support. You just skip them or pay for YouTube Premium. This is a business at the end of the day. Until you run a business, you don't understand business. I just don't want to keep getting interrupted because this information is valuable to some people, like we just said earlier, to those who find it valuable. Y'all know I love y'all, but I'm like a father to y'all, and if I have to tell y'all, please just chill for a second, because we're trying to get this stuff out. It's just what it is. As much money as we can get to make sure everybody, as much as we can help is good, we gonna take it. We're going to borrow from Babylon in a legal way without jeopardizing our souls. So that's all I'm saying. All right. Anyway. So anybody can say something, but the people who say something and have a problem, let them put the money up for us to help us to get the work done, to travel and do all of these things. That's what I'm saying. We would love, okay, we don't need to be monetized. This person said they're going to put up all the money. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. This is how we take care of the widows. This is how we take care of people who might be hurting sometimes and help the poor. Through you. This is through your works. This ain't only through our works. All right. I want to go really quick, since some of these bras are causing lumps and cysts, okay? Let's see here. We have a cottonique.com. Let me go there really quick. 1 second. Let me show you some of the things that they put. Really, though? Really? Oh, they took 1 second. They took me off of that. Really? Are you kidding me? All right, so we're gonna put it back on here then. I don't know how that happened. One moment, my people. Good Father of mine. There we go. I didn't know that it's gonna jump to that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm talking to myself because I changed the other browser, but it shouldn't have changed to that. So, all right, we good. Sorry about that. I don't want to have to do that the whole show. So we're at cottonique.com. Really quick. 3 effective ways to remove formaldehyde in clothing. I bet you didn't know that they had formaldehyde in your clothing. Yeah, embalmer fluid that some people be smoking and turning into zombies. What they got? Formaldehyde. What's this other stuff they got out there? Fentanyl. Is a lot of these type of chemicals inside of these clothing. 3 effective ways to remove it, they say. We're just going to jump through it. Washing your clothes. hang your clothes, because a lot of UV rays will help to get a lot of this stuff out. All right. Because sometimes even with the good clothes, when they're dyeing things, they can still put it on there. So, and I don't trust everything that says organic. So I would tell you, for instance, you know why on Lion's Homestead we sell things like chlorine dioxide or CDS, things that Mike Adams, the ranger, was speaking about. Okay, I've known about it even before him, but he's powerful when it comes to this science. He's an actual scientist, but I'm saying CDS, I've been knowing about it. But soak my clothes in that to deal with anything that is in that water or on that fabric. And then wash it and then put it to dry. Okay? Allowing it to get degas if there's something on it. Sometimes they have mattresses that people have to degas so that when you're sleeping on these mattresses, this stuff is not coming through. Like, you've ever slept on a mattress because you didn't know before? You're like, what does it smell? Yeah, they're spraying it with all types of chemicals, guys. You got to let that mattress sit outside and degas it for at least half a day. That's how it goes. So what I decided to do, I said, especially as you get older, I have to invest in a mattress. And I would try to get the mattress as cheap as possible. But I was able to get a nice wool, 100% wool mattress. 100% top of the line wool. So that when I'm sleeping at night, I didn't have the same issues as a mattress I slept on before. Because I just didn't have the knowledge of these mattresses. Even though I used to deliver mattresses in my youth, I wasn't really thinking about mattresses like that, just how they felt only. But come to find out, obviously, as I became an adult, yeah, mattresses have chemicals in them. So a lot of times you have to degas them. Very, very important that we understand these things, okay? So just wanted to put that out there really quick. And we have something else here for you from furtraders.com, just to show you the benefits of wearing natural things, how the Most High didn't make any mistakes. Look at that. Fair use, educational purposes only. That beautiful kombucha. All right. So, temperature regulation is one benefit. You got the fur right here. Look at the fur. I kept them rabbit hides and them rabbit skin. Even though we can't eat it, don't mean we can't wear it and be fly with it. So, you got the air circulation. And I'm talking about this because a lot of times people think that the animals need to be enclosed on every single level. It's good to have them some shelter, but they can actually survive outside, like the deers and the moose and things like this. They may find a cave and got a little airflow, but they don't really have to be totally enclosed. People spoil some of these animals. It's not bad to do it, but I'm just saying. You have leather. Okay, my shoes, for example, are made from 100% buffalo leather. Every shoe, whether it's shiny leather, whether it's classic leather, whether it's what's the other leather we have? I have another leather. It looks like suede, no bug leather. Every leather is real leather because the science of leather, how the Most High made it. Check it out. Natural fiber structure, pores, breathability. If you sweat, the gases and the smells come out from your foot. Powerful how the Most High made this stuff. So when you see me at Passover always with the fur, it's not to show off. I know what our forefathers were wearing, and I've always been one to appreciate the ancient ways. You might catch me watching Vikings, drinking some ancient Viking ale. Like when I say ancient, I'm not a beer drinker, but when I say ancient, I'm talking about ancient. I'm talking about I'm getting stuff from Belgium and all that. Like, boy, let me tell you, the stuff that still have probiotics in it. You get what I'm saying? I mixed mine the other day with a little cranberry juice that we made from home, because a lot of cranberry juice say 100% vitamin C. That's not real cranberry juice. That's say 100% vitamin C, not 100% cranberry juice. That's how they fool people with marketing. You just take you some cranberries, put it on the stove, make it at home. Add your little sugar. There you go. And sit back and kick back. The ancient way I appreciate. So when I have on my little fur and stuff like that, you don't have to have money to have fur. You can go hunting and get you a needle and a thread. Or whatever you need to do. Okay? Because I'm not finna give somebody some $3,000 and $5,000 for some fur. Because guess what? I got a needle and a thread. Okay? Just like that. Now I'm going to tell you now, fellas, when you want to dress ancient, you're going to have to work out a little bit. I'm going to tell you, because you're going to kill it off. If you want to dress ancient, you can't be having the East Indian shoulders. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not trying to say I'm better than nobody. That's not what I'm saying. We men of the Most High. You don't want to be looking like this thing is no damn circus. Work out to make that thing look like a warrior. Make them shoulders look like a warrior, brother. I go in the East Indian place and put their clothes on before, man, them shoulders are so small like a little woman. What the woman gonna grab on? That thing is just like a damn little toy shoulder. No. No. When you're going to wear something that's supposed to look like it's off Game of Thrones or something like that, you need to get yourself up to par. I'm sorry to tell you, we need to have standards. That's why I call the show, we have to fix this or else. Or else you're going to become a hater because you mad at somebody else because you didn't receive the wisdom you was supposed to receive. You can work out like the next man. I don't want to hear what you used to do. Let's keep doing it. I don't care let me tell you, in a wheelchair, you can still have nice shoulders. Get you a band, get you some weights and start pumping it. And don't let nobody talk about your reps. People keep talking about half reps. I don't care if you was in the NFL, NBA, half reps built my shoulders. Half reps built my shoulders and a bunch of gorillas. And I'm saying Judah gorilla shoulders. Half reps. And their shoulders be bigger than theirs. They talking about, he's not doing a full rep. Brother, you got East Indian shoulders. What are you talking about? Learn how to make people clothes look nice. Sisters, y'all know how to get it together. Sisters, you be putting your little waist thing on and all of that. Come on now. We the kings and queens of the earth. That's what this thing is about. Let me stop messing with y'all. I just like to encourage y'all to be better, though. That's what it's about, all my jokes aside. I really want to see everybody feel good, be confident, right? Let's talk really quick about clothes that's too tight. We have a video on that really quick. Not for just like sinful reasons. I'm talking about health reasons, okay? Men, you already know when you wear tight undies, it can slow down your reproduction. If they're too tight, it can slow down your reproduction. If you ain't in a Brazilian jiu-jitsu battle or kickboxing battle, when you got to wear a cup or something like that, you know, you might have to be like a bull for. You got to know what's for you. Not too tight, not whatever. This video is going to give a little information on it. For health purposes only. Right? So, give me one moment. One moment here. So, take this over here. Okay. Y'all give me one moment. I'm about to get this for y'all. Don't worry. There it is. There it is. All right. We think we got it. Where did that thing go? 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to find it.
Warning for women. You may think that those tight-fitting jeans and short skirts make you look and feel sexy, but would you still wear them if the unexpected price you had to pay was a serious vaginal infection? A 1983 study in the American Journal of Public Health examined 160 women and divided them into two equal groups. One that primarily wore tight-fitting garments 80% or more of the time, and one that primarily wore loose clothes 80% or more of the time. The results were clear. Our present study confirms our previous observation that wearing of tight-fitting clothing coupled with nylon underwear and or pantyhose creates more warmth and moisture in the vaginal and cervical area, thus producing an environment favorable for the colonization of candida and other yeasts. The tight-fitting clothes infection warning for women. You may think that those tight-fitting jeans and short skirts make you look and feel sexy, but would you...
All right, sisters, you pretty much got the hint on that. Candida is not only a bad thing when it comes to the gut, but in the secret parts. It can also cause bad oral hygiene, secret part hygiene, if you guys know what I mean, and gut hygiene, definitely in the gut. But tonight we're specifically talking about for the clothing. What do we mostly see in the gym? Plastic. A place full of plastic. And it's kind of drastic. Men are looking around just trying to focus on the workout, but all the women have on plastic. I'm sure they have good intentions. They just want to look cute. Modern day, a lot of sisters may not know. When I say they may not know, they don't know the truth, but they just want to look good and feel good according to what society have told them looks good. And that's wearing your behind like a pair of Jordans. Men wear Jordans to look good modern day. Not me, but I'm saying they wear Jordans or nice clothes. Women wear their behinds out and their cleavage out. That's what they've been taught. But to tell you the truth, sisters, for godly, righteous men, one, no man's going to tell you that the flesh doesn't look lustful or desiring. But that doesn't mean they want it. It's a difference. Any man who says something like that doesn't look desiring, he's lying. But that's his flesh talking. Does that mean he wants that or wants to wife that? Of course not. He wouldn't want to wife it. So you're thinking because you're showing that he's going to want to wife you. No, not a real man. Maybe a loser. Maybe a person who can't get women. Maybe a person who has no intentions on really taking care of you, sleeping with you and leaving you. But a real man, if he gets you, he's just going to tell you to cover it up. But because you're already doing it, he's going to have a hard time telling you to cover it up. So he's pretty much going to choose a woman who's already having it covered up. Ding. So, because a wicked woman is given to the portion of a wicked man. Whether his intentions are to be wicked or not, how he's moving in the world is the type of woman he's going to get. Okay? So, women are in the gym wearing plastic and don't know. Let me tell you something, sisters. We're going to have to find a new way. And when I'm going to tell you, when you find a new way, you can get you some 100% cotton sweats. Because I know modern day, I know a lot of people say, oh, what you going to wear a damn dress to the gym? I mean, hey, that's you. Do what you want to do. I'm not making fun of it, but I'm just telling you, there's a lot of different ways to be creative. You can't wear a Ross dress to the gym. That just don't even make sense. The dress is going to split when you're trying to squat and do different things like that. And just because you have on a dress don't mean your backside ain't going to be shaking all over the place. That's just the reality of it. We're grown-ups. So you have things like big sweats. You don't want them to be too baggy. You don't want them to be underbagged. You want them to be what your husband wants. And if you're single, you have to look in the mirror and realize what is appropriate and what's not appropriate. Then you can also wear sweats with a little shirt wrapped around it so you're not showing your backside, to have some respect for yourself. There's a lot of different ways. Or they have little, linen tights or cotton tights, excuse me, not linen, but cotton tights, where you can put a skirt over that. Okay, they have sports skirts, but you're gonna really try to sew these things or find something that's cotton. They have shops out there, but they're gonna cost you a little bit. You know what I mean? So just think about these things because excuse me, you got to be really careful. The plastic is causing the big C word. The plastic is causing a lot of cancer out there. You're looking cute with cancer. The wig is causing cancer from formaldehyde. The glue underneath the wig, or the sew-ins, or whatever you guys call all these things. The lashes has formaldehyde, some of them. The lipstick has some dyes and cancers. The makeup has a lot of stuff in it. The shampoo got whale sperm in it. So you might have to resort to things like, what's this soap? This Dr. Bronner's type of soap. What do you call that stuff? I got some in there right now. I forget this stuff, but my mind's all over the place. You might have to resort to making your soap or natural soaps. These things do really good at stripping dirt out of the pores and the hair. They help a lot. Y'all know what soap I'm talking about. I can't think about it right now. Yeah, they have a lot of whale sperm in it. That's unclean to be putting in our hair. That's ridiculous. We learned that way back when in Egypt. Iraq brought that out a long time ago. So, you got the plastic bra on. You got the everything else on. The socks might be plastic. If the socks are plastic and not a cotton, what happens with that is your feet are sweating and heating up. Now you got plastics coming up through your foot. Let me tell you guys. And then you got the rubber at the bottom of the shoe. I'd rather you have rubber than anything at the bottom of the shoe than all the rest of this stuff. So I just want to put that out there. I'm not telling you to throw all your stuff away tomorrow. That's what it's called, Castile soap. How could I forget? It's right in my bathroom. You're going to have to just do a little research. And when you get a little money, you get a little time, slowly transition yourself, because the Most High have been having grace on us all to slowly get things right. It just takes time, okay? Don't beat yourself up. If you beat yourself up, you're doing it the wrong way. You're going to get emotional. Oh, I don't know what to do. Everything is just bad. Just forget it. No. This information is coming out to help to transition our people. No one gets anything overnight. Money don't grow on trees. Neither's time. You don't even have all the time in a day to do everything. You won't. Listen, don't destroy yourself like we read earlier because of things you can't control yet. Okay? We can only do what we can. And it's worse for the children, because the children, boy, you try to buy your children a whole wardrobe, they grow out of it in a few months. So if you want to buy them Jordans and all this crazy stuff, let me tell you, get ready to do it again in a few months. My son won't know what a Jordan is. Before I buy him a Jordan, he will create a Caleb. Before I buy Caleb a pair of Jordans, not that Jordans are bad or evil, that's just my mindset, how I grew up. He would create a Caleb shoe. Okay, he wears barefoot shoes like his daddy. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with Jordans, but I'm just saying, I'm just trying to teach my children to be better than me and what I've learned, the best I can. Before he bounced a basketball, and that's just me, for a white man, he would start his own team. I'm just telling you, that's my mindset. If your son plays football, you want him to be the best for Israel. Everybody have their own purpose. Everybody have their own purpose. And I am not, what I'm saying is not better than you, and what you're doing is not better or less than me. Everybody will know their own purpose because it's already here for you. I've been a rebel since I've been born. That's just, I came out like this. I seen one slave movie and I knew it's something out there that I got to find that why this ain't adding up. And Elder Rawchaa is the person who was speaking to help me to find it. I didn't know the name of it or what it was and through life, but when I found it, that same vision, that when I was sitting there in front of that TV, it connected. That's all I know. That's all I know, guys. I know that Jacob is the former of all things. Okay? So decide to be a consumer or a producer. And we should be the producers because in the old world, we were the producers. It's not going to happen overnight, but if we start practicing these things and learning all these skills, learning how to tan leather, hunting and keeping our deer skins, when you're getting your cattle slaughtered, keeping the skins, keeping all of these things because they resell and use trash to us. They're taking recycled plastic and making billions of dollars. They're not thinking about running up and down no damn basketball court, even though our people need that to get out the hood. I love the fact that we have something because they're not giving us anything. So like I said, I'm not against that. Somebody have to do that. But somebody have to be at the top to help govern and get our people out of the position so we won't be bouncing a basketball for these people forever. Because eventually they turn to homos and all of this stuff, a lot of them. And they persecute them and try to force their hand at things and call somebody else a cult when they're really a cult. Burn our people out. Now, thankfully, some of our people can come out of there unscathed, who have some morals and principles that they've grown up with. All right? Anyway, let's continue. Let us continue. As a matter of fact, let's see. Yeah, so let's stop wearing. Sisters, you're going to have to know, according to your husband, what he wants you to wear. Single sisters, you got to know what's too tight and what's not too tight. You be trying to be in the truth, but then still show a little behind. And that's why you're falling behind. Back in the days, it was a shame for a woman to not be pregnant or have a husband. Don't you know that? Why you waiting on Chris Brown? You waiting on whatever pretty boy is out there. You show your worth by putting in your work. I'm just telling you. You be yourself. You put your work in. Let me tell you, they gonna see you for certain. Let's go to Ezekiel 16:10 really quick. I was supposed to stay on for an hour, but I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. All right. Ezekiel 16:10. Ezekiel 16:10. Here we go. I clothed thee also with broidered work and shod thee with badger skin. So just because we don't eat something don't mean we don't clothe ourselves or put badger skin or certain things on our tents or certain things like that. Just because we don't eat it don't mean we can't use it for clothing. You got to remember that part. Now we ain't wearing no pig. They got a dead hog down the street. Ain't nothing still touch it yet. Okay? So, I'm just telling you. I'm not going to be putting on no possum I'm not going to be putting on no rat fur. I might wear an exotic fox or rabbit, something like that. I'm not going to put on no possum. You see what I'm talking about? Yeah, You just got to know what's best for you. And I girded thee about with fine linen. Now, linen and wool, there is a study out there. Let's continue. And I decked thee also with ornaments, and I put bracelet upon thy hands, and a chain on your neck. Who is wearing the chains on their neck and looking fly with it? The children of God. Black people, what they call them. So don't be hating when you see our people like that. We know we're kings and queens. We know we come from the blood of these people. We gonna be fly. We gonna be fly. Let me get you this research really quick though. Let me see. Let me see. I don't know. Did I keep it or not? I don't know if I kept it. Okay, so where did I put it? I did actually. Did I? Okay, I don't know if I kept the link, but I do have it. Because I don't have it on here. So basically, linen has the high frequency, and this is not made up. This is real research. Just look it up for yourself. You'll see it very easy. It was a study done back then. Linen has the frequency of about 5,000, and I don't remember what it was measured in. That's why I was trying to get the actual source for you. I could be overlooking it, but it's okay. You can just Google it, and you literally are going to see it. All right. Is this it? No, that's not it. 1 second. No, that's not it. Okay, it's all good. So linen has the frequency of about 5,000, which is why it was chosen for the high priest garments. Wool also has that same. Why? We got the wool from the sheep for the winter time to clothe us in winter. No one is necessarily going to wear everything that's linen inside of the winter, especially in cold climates. All right. Some of you may know what it was measured in because I just don't remember. I don't want to be wrong with that. We don't speak things we don't know. We become a fool. But I'm not a scientist in that area. So you can't mix linen and wool like the scriptures said for a reason. Because, let's get it. What is that? Deuteronomy 22:11. Let's get it for y'all. Now, I know a lot of people like to be law keepers, but you're never going to be able to follow this whole law. Just to tell you, not today. All right, because you even eating beef, you don't know where the beef come from. You don't know what type of beef it is. It's all, you can't follow this whole law in the way you would like to because you don't own anything as a people. We don't own banks. We're not in our land to have things a certain way. So just get as close as you can to these things. We put the information out there, and if some of us financially have the opportunity to get this and sell to our own people and barter with our people, this is what we're trying to grow to as much as we can. So most garments today are mixed. So just in that alone, we will be breaking the law, and we would all have to be dead. Now, that's not a law necessarily that's unto death for the most part, but because the way we were living before, it just wouldn't be done. But today, you wouldn't be necessarily following the law by having on mixed clothing. But we have grace because we're in captivity. No captive slave can complain. I don't care if you're doing good. You're not rich enough to even follow every part of the law. And when you do, your people still haven't made it. So what? You going to be the only Negro going to heaven? Right? So, that's what I'm saying here. Let's get it for you. We have verse 11. Deuteronomy 20:11. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts. Modern day, we wear garments of many diverse sorts. It is what it is. Thank you, Father, for your grace and your mercy. Right now, this moment, thank you for your grace and your mercy. That we can still be able to have these things on and you still accept us as a perfect people until we can manage through our faith and our works to get there. Ultimately, the outward garments is not going to please the Father. A person with plastic garment who's poor will get in before a person with 100% linen if they're in the right spirit. So you need to understand what I'm saying here. It's not the garment that makes the man. It's the inner man or woman that makes this person please the Father. So when I'm bringing information out, it's information to edify so that we can possibly do better. But that don't mean you're going to hell because you're wearing plastic. I'm educating for you to be able to live to endure. And so that we're not ignorant to these things and we know what our enemy is doing to us. When we're spending our hard-earned money, we try to invest it in something that's going to last. You see this shirt I have on here, for example. I don't need to buy another one like this. When I invest in my mature age, I don't like to just buy clothes just to have a closet full of clothes like a woman. I'm a simple guy. I know white gets dirty easy. I buy a lot of white things. If I buy a pair of white shoes, just buy 2 of them. One to play in and one to dress in real nice. Because one of them going to get dirty. One, did you barely wear it? So I just think like this. But I don't want to keep investing in things over and over. I should know my size for the most part when I get to a certain age. Now, children, they're going to get older. And you have to be prepared to purchase certain things. If you over purchase because you have it, praise the Most High. But I don't waste resources. So for instance, you buy them enough and you get ready for, and sometimes family will bless you. If you got an older nephew or something like that, hey, it's all good. They're going to grow out of this stuff anyway. That's the blessing. Drop your pride. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people are like, oh, I can't take somebody's leftovers. Okay. It's all good. Christ didn't have a home to stay in. You better than Christ? You better than Christ, huh? I worry about things that's necessary and need and be grateful for things. So that I never teach my children to value material things. I teach them to value people, respect people, hard work. So that when they want something, they appreciate it. If you just buy them things, then they don't, Back in the days, man, people probably only had one pair of shoes. And they appreciated that one pair of shoes. Now, you can just go, you just buy anything, even if it's from Ross. In a child's mind, they thinking they getting $100 pair of shoes if you go to Ross and only spend $16-20. It's just the principle that we have to learn in life. So, for instance, with this linen shirt, I have to be careful how I wash it. And a lot of times, you get a size a little bit above, so when it dries, it's just your perfect size. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, before I got on the show, I got my little protein shakes. I drink my protein shakes. Over 40, you have to have protein. You either going to eat it through your meats or you're going to add in your protein shakes. So I added my 2 protein shakes a day, and I eat my, my meat to get my my 210 grams of protein, because I'm 210 pounds and I'm about 6 feet. So I'm not the biggest guy. I'm not the smallest guy. But I'm going to tell you, I've done so many pull-ups. It's hard for me sometimes to fit in little Gentile clothing because I got like a Batman's back. I got a wide back. So my wife be like, hold up. I got to put my hands on like a little kid for my wife to help me sometimes put on some of these clothes that don't have the buttons on them. Because if I don't and I try to get out of it, the thing gonna tear. And so sometimes some things when it comes to some of these healthy garments, you have to know some fabrics can't get sewn back together easily. So you need to learn how to take care of them. You need to learn when you get on these sites to measure yourself right and learn that when you wash cotton or linen, it's going to shrink down a little bit. So just be very careful. And it can become very weak if you're just washing it with a lot of bleach and chemicals. So I use natural things when we wash these garments. All natural little washing powders. Okay? And I mean all natural. All right? So do your thing, but I'm just telling you, when it comes to this linen and stuff, it can last you for years if you invest in the right thing. Don't just go buy just whatever. Know why you're buying it, because this stuff is going to cost you some money. Unless you find the right site to get a lot of these things on, or unless you learn how to make them. If you learn how to make them, you're going to be in the game. You're going to be the person people can come and buy things from. But I'm going to tell y'all something. Some of y'all going to have to step your game up, and I love that some of y'all garments. But I'm going to tell you, I can't put on a WWF-looking garment like the old Israelite camps. Elder Rawchaa had the fly joints, but I can't put on the Ultimate Warrior Hebrew Israelite garments. My joint got to look like Game of Thrones or the Vikings. It got to have the shoulders. It got to have the small waist. It can't, I can't have the WWF joints. Like I'm getting ready to go slam somebody, and they about to count 1, 2, 3. I'm just telling you. They got the Israelite camps. I love them, but they would wake more people up if they was more fly. They already got the manliness going on and the rudeness, but they gonna have to step the game up on some of these garments. I'm just telling you the truth. Okay? Because if you go to work like that, and if you go to work, you're gonna put us on the map like that. They gonna be like, what the hell is going on? It is not Halloween. So I'm just telling you. Just telling you the truth. All right? My Israelite brothers out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's too costumey, like this person just said. Let's continue here. So the linen and the wool, all jokes aside, the linen and the wool should not be mixed together because they will cancel each other out. They actually sell cotton and linen garments that will not cancel each other out. It's not a bad mix either, because if you have 100% cotton and linen, it actually gives you a really nice garment. If you have cotton and wool, it will not cancel each other out. It's nothing wrong with having a suit. You got the cotton on the inside, the wool on the outside, so that you're not itching. These things are very, very important. Y'all laughing. Listen, I don't like being a stumbling block to our people. If a garment is going to be a stumbling block to my people, then I'm going to be all things to all men. And if I'm wearing a garment, I want them to be like, yo, that Negro look like he out of the Game of Thrones. So they can know that when they come in, they're going to be fly too. You think they want to come in and be, people need to feel motivated. You got to understand, our people have been through so much. The last thing they want to do is feel like they going lower or backwards. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If they feel like you're just a person on the streets and you're going back in the old days trying to be John the Baptist, like you just came out the desert, you sweating, and guess what? That does not mean you're not a good man. That does not mean you're not one of the best good men on earth, righteous men. But you have to learn how to use bait. And you're dealing with the people who have been through so much. The last thing they want to do is look up to someone who looks like they have nothing going on. So at least be wise and say, hey, let me put on something presentable, even if I don't have a lot of money. You know what I mean? Because this cats out there be passing out flyers at the red light and they be sweating. It's like, At least one thing I can respect about the Nation of Islam is that they're going to put on a nice suit. Even if they're sweating under that thing, they looking clean. They not looking like they about to go down to 40 ounce. We got to start using a little wisdom. We so gun-ho on being an Israelite and keeping the law. You lost what we just read in Ezekiel. He said, I'm going to put a chain on you. I'm going to put ornaments on you. You're going to be fly. You're going to have badger skin. All these movies that we see, Vikings and Game of Thrones, they got that from us, guys. They got this stuff from us, the hairstyles. All of this braids, no, that was us. Esau wasn't rolling around with no dreads and braids. Are you kidding me? And notice how everything had the shoulders. And then even the sisters in the King James times, they were making the little parts on the dresses where it looked like it popped out a little bit more 3D because our sisters had nice shapes. So they would have the shoulders for the warriors of our men because Judah and Israel just have nice big shoulders. And then they would have for the sisters, what do you call those? The petticoats. See what I'm saying? So we can't be so basic to where we scare people off. Because you trying to be a humbug or you trying to be humble. I'm trying to wake up as many people as possible. And if a young man is selling drugs and he want to do better and he think he joined the truth, he coming in to be poor and this is poverty, I wouldn't want to join that. Not modern day. You got to look at how the modern day children are. Every person don't judge like that. I didn't judge Elder Rawchaa when they was on the streets. I just needed the word. I personally, I just needed the word. But there's some people, you got to reach them with different betas, all I'm saying. Personally, I'm not looking at what a man's wearing when I hear the truth. That's me, though. And that's some people. Other people have been through different parts of the curses, and they may need you to look presentable. That's what I'm saying. Okay? Because if every time you got to have a nice suit on like a pastor, then you're not really here for the word. But you're just trying to balance it is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So once again, do not mix linen and wool because it will cancel each other out. That's all you have to know. If you have, let me see, for example, a lot of us wear vests for suits. You can wear the vest on the outside of the shirt that's natural. More than likely, you're not going to get every vest that's linen without some polyester in it. It's okay. You're wearing that on the top of that clothing. That's not going to harm you. I have to put that out there as well. And I'm telling the people who will eventually invest in it. Those who won't invest in it, so be it. You either can't do it, you can't do it now, or you don't care. That's not for you. But people who will eventually try to do it, guess what? The vest on the top more than likely is going to be made with polyester underneath so it can be smooth. And the top is going to be whatever they put it. You put that on top of your linen. You put that on top of your wool shirt. And every wool shirt doesn't look like it's just came off a sheep. Once they put that thread together really nice and fine, you won't know you have on a wool shirt. Trust me. They got some wool shirts and some linen shirts that you would think that's cotton. So I'm showing you guys there's so many different ways. You just have to do a little research and where to find a lot of these things, okay? So Revelations 19:8 says, let me get that really quick for y'all. I know it's a lot of information coming out, but a lot of people be asking these questions and just don't know. People, you know what I mean? People want to know. I gotta give them what they want. People want to serve the Father the best way they can. Revelations, what I said, 19:8. Did I get that right? 1 second, guys. Yeah. Yep, 1 second. I think I got it right. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed, talking about us as a kingdom, Israel, the bride of Christ. She should be arrayed in fine linen. Not just any rough linen, fine linen. It's a difference. That means a person had to put in extra work like they did in the old days. They had to scrape that thing. They had to line it up. Let me tell you, it was a lot of work back in the days when it came to textiles and clothing. in garments. So the Most High, like, I want fine flour, fine linen, because that's the stuff that's special. These people are special, so they would have fine linen and clean and white. So you want your spirit to be that way and the clothing to match. So people just think it's one way. No, it is your clothing and your inside if you can. Obviously, when you're out there hunting, you're going to have on the proper hunting attire. But these things are breathable. Linen and flax gets rid of radiation. You didn't know that, did you? Look it up. Flax is anti-radiation. It is one of the most powerful antimicrobial, antibacterial things. When you sweat, you don't be just smelling nothing unless you just dealing with, a lot. But I'm just saying, this is a powerful garment of why the saints wore it, why the priest wore it. 5,000 frequency to give you energy. Cotton is neutral. It's 100, just like our bodies. So cotton is just neutral. So when you mix cotton with linen, it's really not really just going to take away from it too much. The more linen you have, the more it's going to be. Just so you know. So let's read it. Clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of saints. So it's all good. It's righteous when you got it on. And it ain't a sin when you don't wear it. But I'm just telling you, it's righteous to wear it. It has a lot of benefits, pretty much, is what I'm saying. So even in the book of Revelations, they're talking about this garment here. All right. Let me really quick, since we were talking about flaxseed and radiation, let me just bring that out for you guys really quick. We are at livescience.com. Flaxseed might protect against death from radiation. We can't go into the whole article, but you guys can look it up. Flaxseed may protect against damaging effects of radiation, whether from a blank. I don't want to say that word. I just don't want to say that word on here, okay? I don't want to trigger anything. A blank's dirty blank. I don't want to say those type of buzzwords on here with this algorithm. So you could just read that part. Okay. Or a routine cancer treatment, a new study in mice suggest. Mice that ate flaxseed either before or up to 6 weeks after received a large radiation dose to the chest were more likely to survive and had fewer lung problems than mice not given flaxseed. 4 months after receiving radiation, up to 88% of mice that ate flaxseed was still alive. Now y'all know y'all elder love y'all. We always talk about radiation. Put your garments on. Put your linen on. Know what I'm talking about? Right? Put your linen on. You didn't know linen was that powerful, huh? Flaxseed is a beast. From the east. I'm telling you. From where we from. I can't go into the whole thing. You can get that on your own time. But I want to get this really quick for you. All right. How clothing that's not linen, cotton, or how these things can hurt the body once again. Many synthetic or chemically treated clothes contain toxic substances that can affect health, especially when worn right against skin over long periods. Formaldehyde and easy care finishes, because when they deal with the clothes, they have to put a finish on them, okay? They use things to make them anti-wrinkle resistant, dyes and things like that, right? We know formaldehyde is known as a carcinogen. It can affect the skins and irritate the eyes and cause even all types of brain damage that can make a person have zombie-like effects. Okay? We have PFAs, which they call forever chemicals, microplastics and things like that. They're added for water and stain resistance. linked to immune hormone reproductive issues and some cancers. And I have all of my links here. Interior medicine for that one. And we have Earth Day +1 for that one. All right. You have, how do you say that word? Phthalates and flame retardants used in activewear, anti-odor finishes, and children's clothes. These can disrupt hormones. One of the biggest issues that our people are dealing with, gut issues and hormones. So when you see clothing that's anti-odor and all that, now listen, let's be our own anti-odor. That's why I'm selling it on Alliance Homestead. It's all natural and it works. And it allows you to perspire. You are supposed to be able to perspire. When you have antiperspirant, that's not good. You're supposed to sweat. You're not supposed to be a pig and not sweat. Okay? These can disrupt hormones and may affect the nervous and reproductive systems. Azo dyes and heavy metals. All of this for clothing. Used to create vivid colors, and some break down to aromatic amines that are allergenic and possibly carcinogens. Earth Day +1 again. These chemicals can migrate from fibers into the skin and be inhaled and are linked into the studies of dermatitis, allergies, respiratory effects, and endocrine disruption, and other systemic concerns. Science Direct. Workers in textile factories handling these chemicals show elevated risk, and some finishes remain in the clothing through washing. So that's why I told you guys why on our site I have chlorine dioxide. It's a water purification. Soak my vegetables in it, all that. Because I had a video I was going to show earlier, but the doctor was on there talking about it. Let me see here. I don't think I saved that video, but the doctor was on there talking about it. She was basically saying how, oh yeah, I have it here. Let me get it for you. I was supposed to show this to you guys last week. Okay. I was supposed to show this to you last week, but I didn't get a chance. Hopefully they allow me to show it on this. Let me see. Now, these are doctors. I am not promoting that I agree with them. I am not saying these are our views, because this product is very controversial. Okay? I have it as a water purification, but they're saying something else. Okay? So people have to read these things at their own risk. I am just showing this for fair use and educational purposes only of what Dr. Stephanie Seneff and D. Home Carey Rivera is saying. I don't know these people and what they're talking about, and I'm going to tell you, you should do research before you put anything in your body, before you use anything in life in general. You should do research before you put any pharmaceuticals, like when you see on these commercials that talk about the side effects can be cancers, heart attack, stroke. The same way they tell you that, you should take heed and caution with everything and always do research. I have to put this out there for the protection of myself, our church, and people who may be just ignorant and just do anything. Okay? Don't just go doing anything you don't know what you're doing and you get yourself hurt, and then you try to blame it on these doctors, me, or the church. No, you can't do that. You need to blame that on your damn self. You damned your own self because you didn't do research, and then you were not responsible. So I'm putting all that out there before I play this. Okay? So what you see on here, don't try to say Elder said it, because like I said, me and the brother was laughing a few weeks ago because he said, Elder, I know he was laughing because he said, yeah, you was talking about me. Yeah, I was talking about you. Guess what? Because you was real and you wasn't emotional, but I had to let other people know that sometimes people say, you told me to do this. I didn't tell you to do nothing. We got to put that out there right now. I'm talking about. Okay, we got it. We good? All right. This is just information that's on the internet. I am not saying nothing heals nothing. For those who have eyes to hear, to see and ears to hear, you understand what I'm talking about. I wouldn't even dial his number on here because we don't know these people. But they're doctors and this is what they're saying. Just like there's millions of other doctors. I got books with doctors in it. Got to put it out there like that. But you know Hebrews like, yeah.
Chlorine in general, in different capacities, working with oxygen, I should say, is able to fully break down glyphosate into useful raw materials. It completely destroys the glyphosate molecule and turns it into resources that the cell can use for its own needs.
Oh, whoa. And I'm going to leave it there. And that's all you heard. And that's all you heard. She didn't even say what does what. See? She didn't even say what does what because I let it skip a little bit. But for those who have eyes to see, I wanted to show you this last week. Why I soak my vegetables in this. I can't tell you what else I do. I can't tell you that. You got to do your own research. I told you what to do already. All I told you is to go to the testimonials that's online. To go to Rumble. Go to the testimonials and go to Rumble and see what people are doing. Okay. I soak my vegetables about 15 to 30 minutes. And, I clean my house. I clean the water in my house. I clean the water in my house. It's all I'm going to say. I cleans the water in my temple in my house. That's all I can tell you. If you don't understand what that is, you ain't Israel. If you don't understand what that means, you ain't Israel. Okay? Christ said, for those who have ears, let them hear. Okay? I told y'all when it came, I told y'all what I put on that site wasn't just no, oh man, I can do that. Ha! No, you can't. Because guess what? You don't know the federal rules, the laws. You have no clue. It's levels to this. Let me tell you, boy, you would get internationally arrested playing around with these people. Play if you want to. The people who made it up was getting arrested. Play if you want to. Okay? You can play if you want to. You go around, let me tell you, you go around mention this thing like it's Jehovah's Witness if you want to. Elder, man, they locked me up, man. And you got yourself locked up like a fool. So I render to Caesar what Caesar's. And this ain't no fear. This called wisdom. I have to finish. Man, there's cats who got arrested at the airport for this. You better know your research. They going around trying to tell people this heals and this does this. Don't you know you under captivity under their rules and their laws? And you going to be a fool going to tell somebody that an apple can heal somebody? Let me tell you, you get in trouble if you tell somebody an apple heals somebody. It's just what it is now. People got to take it upon themselves to find out. That's all I'm saying. So, when it comes to clothes having things in them, when it comes to wherever water, let me say it like this, wherever water is in the world, it's water in a lot of places, even in my house, your house too. It's water purification. And blood can't move without water. It needs to move with a liquid. And I'm going to tell you, some clean house. That's all I can say. It cleans house. Some contaminants trying to get in your water bucket that you storing your water in outside or inside your little water. Guess what? There you go. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you're too slow. I'm just messing with you. But not only does it destroy what she said, it is able to now be used as a benefit. Check that out. Let me tell you, people be thinking they know what they be talking about. I do years of research before I bring something out. And guess what? I deal with it myself. Not only does it destroy it, it done took it and flip it where the body can use it. That's a whole mic drop, but I can't drop this mic. I'm going to tell you right now. I got that thing in my bathroom right there. I'm going to tell you. I come on a whole nother time and tell you what I do with mines on Rumble, but not on ya. Not on ya, like they say in Louisiana. Not on ya. Not on here. Not on here, like Esau says. In Louisiana, we say not on ya. Oh, no, go. Oh, no, bruh. Not on ya. So, let's continue. We're getting ready to close it out in a second here. I want to go really quick to this. Last but not least, before I can close the show out. And then we're going to go into some more powerful stuff. I just couldn't go into everything tonight. I do have something to go in pretty soon about stress, trauma, and like little emotional triggers and things like that when it comes to the brain and how it can make one shorten his or her lifespan. A study, and I think the study was done in Germany. I couldn't go into all of this information tonight, but it actually shows brain scans and little rings around the brain and stuff like that, right? So I said, let me add that in here tonight. I said, no, it's going to be all over the place. I want to focus specifically on that to show you kind of how the scriptures correlated and show you how stress and over worrying and things like that can bring one to death quicker. Why the Most High tells us to only mourn for 7 days, because the body can go into a state of starting to decline and to kill itself off. Because, like I said, the Most High created everything with water. Water is life. He spoke to the water, created everything. Most of that water they talk about in the body, that's in the brain. That same place that the Most High created everything with, that water, how we think and what we speak, this water in here will become and will do. It's already studies out there of how the water changed and all that from voice and from these things like that. So when it comes to the brain and stress, there's water. This thing is filled with water. So no wonder it starts to decline and the body starts to stress. People worrying about things they can't control. So I'm going to go into that study pretty soon, because they have like the actual science and studies on it. All right. I'm going to tell y'all, you be worrying and stressing about stuff, how Esau be putting all this media and news out there to scare people and all of that. Once you be in this long enough, you hear all this doom and gloom news. You're like, you know what I mean? You're young, you selling all this stuff to elder, and then after you get old, you start worrying about this stuff. You're like, man, I'm not worrying about all this stuff. Esau is more worried about this stuff than us. People be sending me all this doom and gloom stuff. I'm like, it ain't time yet. Nothing about to happen yet. We still got to go through this prophecy, this and that. Now, do we have to prepare? Should we get better? We should be building the kingdom with no fear. And we should be doing it with the mindset that our God is going to give us the resources and everything we need as much as possible to make it through it. And we should be able to fight for it and work for it with our own people. Not allowing Satan, oh my goodness, the mark of the beast coming. Who gives a damn? Who cares? I don't want to hear nothing about no scary stuff around me. Just like when I'm watching these warrior movies. If you was scared, they just stabbed you right away. Get out of here, dude. Get out of here with all this scary stuff. You ain't no woman. In the scriptures, if you were scared, you had to stay home because one person couldn't be scared when it was time to go to war. Of course, you get a little nervous. Of course, there's a fear of the unknown. That's human nature. But all that coward stuff or being a crash dummy. Sometimes you have crash dummies who thinks that because they're strong and you know what I mean? Let me tell you, these cats is the first to go. They're clowns. And let me teach you men something too on that note. The biggest guy in war is usually the easiest target. When you're young, you want to be swole. You want to be the biggest, swollest guy. But in war, I'm going to tell you the truth. A lot of not the skinniest, but like the guys who's not too big and not too small, those are the best warriors. People who can run a soccer field up and down. People who can run up and down a football field, basketball. I'm going to tell you right now, those are the people who would actually win a war. Not a swole people. Swole people is good for neighborhood fights. Fights that last 10 minutes or less. I'm just telling you, I know from experience. I've been to battle in the streets, in the hood. You get a lot of emotion. People is angry. You know what I mean? You might sprain your finger, get your lip bust, all of this. You might need some stitches every now and then. Not in war. In war, you need to block, hit, move to the next side. You got to do that all day. Yo, the whole time in war, you trying to make sure you don't die. You can ask the questions after. I'll put the websites on before the ending of the show. Mind Shift Athlete, if you don't mind. But I'm telling you guys, the biggest is not always. I'm just telling y'all the truth. People get this thing about the Babylon mindset and the worldly way of how they see a lot of steroid users online. Most of the steroid users would die in war. They're just big and they can't move. That's just the truth. They would get hit by an arrow because they're too big. That's the truth. Basketball shape type of players, soccer players, I'm just telling you, people with abs and who can move and who got their gut, that's the people who will realistically survive a war. Yeah, we eat a little carbs sometime and we get a little off season going on, but I'm just telling y'all the truth. I want us to start thinking reality. When I was young, actually, right, we all wanted to be swole. You know what I mean? And guess what? I'm not saying every single swole person is like this. Some swole people can move, but these people are training and they're really not living a happy life. All they do is train. They don't have a wife. I mean, they're kind of living a life like they should go to war right now. Because it's kind of like their training is like, people be like, what are you training for? This brother's lifting a bench. He's not lifting the bench press. He's lifting a bench. He's hanging from the pull-up. Some people train for crazy stuff. I like to keep the basics. But I had to put this wisdom out there really quick just so brothers can know. If you're trying to gain weight, cool. Eat you enough protein, eat you enough calories. Your metabolism might be so high, you might still not get swole. You'll still be a good, nice lean. But that's when you're usually in your 20s, early 30s. When you get over 40, protein is very important for body composition, meaning staying lean because your metabolism slows down and your hormones change and your testosterone is low. You have testosterone and then you have free testosterone. So we'll talk about that on a whole nother level. How the body can have testosterone and then it cannot be used. So we got to talk about that for people over 40, men and women. That might be my next show to help you guys of what to do to stay in shape. Okay. And some people who want to be lean year round, whatever. But I'm not talking about body composition of being too low. Bodybuilders know what I'm saying. Okay. But I want to be really realistic here because when people see me up and down, I'm really not trying to be swole. That was my younger days. I would just be honest with you. I'm already good. I don't want 22. I actually don't even want 22-inch arms anymore. I don't want all this stuff. It's cool. I already look good enough. I really just want to stay in shape, healthy, and I want to be very strong, agile, and have a lot of endurance. Okay, I don't care about having the biggest arms, the biggest calves. I don't care about that. I want to be healthy because these are the people who win wars and who are not the biggest targets. Okay, so women, I'm going to tell you women something who have got lost in Babylon's mindset. The biggest guys are good for little quick fights and protection. That's cool now, but I'm going to tell you, when it comes to war, they're going to have to lean that thing down. It's just a good appearance to kind of like show intimidation, but it don't mean your man can fight. I'm just telling you the truth. I just seen some big cats get totally mopped by a small dude, and then the woman be so confused. What's all the muscle for then? This dude can't even already do pull-ups. You should have known that. He can't even. He's 250 pounds, and he can barely do 5 pull-ups without breathing hard. He's not fit for war. He's fit for like a little intimidation fight. Somebody gonna come and stop it. Somebody gonna call the police. That's what most people have size for in today's society. In all actuality, most people would not be fit for war. So I just want to promote a little reality among Israelites that, I mean, this is where we are. Free weight things like push-ups, pull-ups, dips. And you still can use weight, yes, if you want to balance a little size, but you can still get strong without that. But you just need to know. I like to do both. I have a love for it for discipline, but I still like to be very realistic. So for men out there, I don't want you to get caught up in like, I'm big and I'm going to be able to do something because I'm big. Because let me tell you, all they got to do is bring the sword up here, act like they're going to hit you up here, and turn and hit you down. It'll just cut both of your legs off. You're done. Yeah, I'm just telling you. So you got to know how to use your height, how to use your size, speed. You got to be able to jump. So let us prepare for the times that's coming, okay? I just giving a little game for y'all. Start jumping more. We're going to get to that over 40 thing. I might go into that next week. People, how to train and live over 40. Okay? I'll do that for you. So let us get this last thing really quick. We're just going to speak about it really quick. Lack of consistency through many options of processed food and marketing. And I'm just going to give some examples really quick. Some things that you need to have consistency for results. Let me open that back up really quick, and then we'll get out of here. Because this is very important, because a lot of people are missing out on gains. And when I say gains, I actually mean trying to help their health. Trying to successfully have their health on point, because they're stopping before they actually get to a point. 1 second. This is why I started my supplement company, guys. Literally. Because I had to learn years ago that, I used to be like every other black person. Oh, this don't work. What I didn't realize is that, hey, some things take a while to be absorbed and stored in the body. You've been doing and living a certain way, doing things and living a certain way for so long, you just expect your body to just do things right away. Your gut might not be in order. Your hormones might not be in order. You may be taking a fat-soluble vitamin with water and expecting it to absorb. Certain fat-soluble vitamins are stored in the body, okay? And then they will be released when needed. Water-soluble vitamins need water, and certain things need food. So that's how it goes. So, for example, really quick. Let me see here. MSM is why I started keysupplements.com. It really, really, really helped my what do you say? Jake stay sizing you up even in the truth. Yeah, you rock. I pray that we overcome this thing of sizing each other up. I really never got into that, because I think that every creature was made special in God's eyes. Personally, that's how I feel about every man or woman. I feel like everybody has a purpose. Whether their back is bigger than mine, chest, legs, they look better than me. I don't know. I don't really get caught in these things or even think about them. So when people size each other up, they still got self-esteem and carnality issues. So I pray for you guys, but you got to remember, we are one body and one mind. And one of the greatest commandments is love, not emotionally, but actually actions towards that person. Loving your neighbor as you love yourself. Would you want your neighbor to size you up? Well, you shouldn't size him up. Sometimes I'm driving and men are all in my car as if I've done something wrong because they're jealous of what I'm driving or what am I doing. But I can't control that. So I just love him as I would love myself. I wouldn't want to hurt him or kill him. So I move on. And that's just the way we have to. People think because you're not a certain size, you can't fight. Let me tell you guys, if you don't know ground game of Brazilian jiu-jitsu and things like that, and you can fight on hand. If somebody don't know this, take you to the ground and you thought you was big and bad, and then they would be able to break your arm, break your leg, all type of stuff. So I just think we got to stop underestimating people just because they're not looking angry at us back, and that an angry look or intimidation or talking loud actually means one can harm or fight somebody. It's just not the truth. You have to do things skillfully at the end of the day. And usually it's the humble ones that I'm knowing the Most High fights with and wins the battle. So brothers and sisters, let us just remember these key things. You know, when a man looks like, oh, I can take him, he's only whatever. I'm going to tell you right now, my stepson fights in the UFC, and I guarantee you, he is only probably like, when he's at, I think he comes down to like 150, 140. I guarantee you, him or any other small guy in our church or in the world, these guys can take down 200 whatever. If they take you to the ground, trip you to the ground, they're gonna break your arm in less than 2 minutes. You out of there. And you talking about from small people, so I would be very careful. They'll let you swing a punch, get tired, or they'll just take you down. So I think we got to be a little bit more humble with each other, because you never know if you can learn something or we can help each other. I feel like all of you guys are my team. So that's why I want everybody to be healthy. I want everybody to be successful. But why would I make somebody who's one mind and one body with me my enemy? It just doesn't make any sense. Why would I be jealous of someone who's on my team? We just have to really think like that again. If a nation divided, a kingdom divided can't stand. So either you're a part of this kingdom or you're not. Let's get to it really quick before I leave, because I'm getting a little hungry. MSM. The scientific name is methyl-sulfomethane. Okay, it's sulfur. It's a sulfur compound or mineral, right? All of the body tissues is made of sulfur. So don't forget that part. It's something that I consume every day for so many years. I had stopped selling it for a while, and then so many people started asking because it wasn't one of the biggest sellers, and I think because people were miseducated on it. But something that your body is made of, you want to definitely take. And I'm not one person, to be honest, who is a fan of supplements. Okay, but I had to realize that's what saved my life. So that's why I started the company. I said, man, I used to be like, oh, man, I ain't taking this and taking that. I used to be the same way. I'm not going to even lie to you. I'm like, man, I don't need that, because I had good genetics. My hormones was balanced. My gut was good. So, I mean, my body functioned really well. I was able to stay lean year round. I could eat Oreo cookies like Cali Muscle and jail prison food and be still lean and look amazing until you get over 35 and 40. I injured my ankle, my Achilles. I was not able to walk that well for like about a year, and then it really slowed my metabolism down, and so I did not have that same metabolism as far as body composition. So I had to work twice as hard to actually keep it. And it's almost like being an obese person but not being obese. So we'll talk about that over 40. But I said all that to say, I almost gave up on my MSM when I was in Egypt to heal my partial ACL tear until about 6 weeks. I said, man, this ain't doing nothing for me. It's just, and I was just like everybody else. I'm like, man, I'm good. So the doctors will tell us, take something, and we'll take what the doctors say. But when it comes to the herbs, we kind of get lax on that. And we can get everything from the food. Depending on where you're getting your food from. And I'm going to say one of the best places to get your food is obviously farmer's market, or you growing your own food. Even better than the grocery store, unfortunately. The grocery stores, we don't know where it's coming from, and and I'm going to tell you, I don't go to the farmer's market. I go to my local grocery store to get some of my food as far as my vegetables. So I'm having to soak some of these things because I can't get everything organic. And I don't have time to go to a farmer's market that's on Saturdays when I have to teach on the Sabbath. So this is just what it is. So I grow my own food. I have my own animals to get them slaughtered, and I get some things from the store I need. And that's just what it is. So all of them, I must say, they're not going to have everything that I need in those veggies. Those veggies that I get from the store will not have as much nutrients and that I from the soil, like the soil compared to the soil that I've built on my own land. Okay, so I just want to put that out there. I might be getting some minerals from my stuff, but from the store, you barely getting anything from apples. You're barely getting anything from some of these veggies. I'm just telling you the truth. That's just the truth of the matter. That's why we supplement. If you listen to Elder Rawchaa shows a lot of times on Fridays, he'll go into a lot of these things. These are reasons why we supplement. What each person is lacking is what they need to supplement. Now, there's a few key things that I named that we need. Iodine that we're not getting. Copper. Sulfur. Some of these things is like B vitamins. No. You need that. Iron. If you are not getting iron through meat, like I said, that's why we sell iron on keysupplements.com. But if you still can't absorb the iron, that means you lack copper. So these are non-negotiables. Over 40, protein. If you don't have enough meat for protein or you're working, I'm sorry to tell you, you're going to have to find another replacement. If you don't like protein shakes, you're going to have to find something else. But I do my protein shakes, and it's really have helped. It really has helped me and others over 40. And I'm not just talking about in our church. I'm talking about worldwide. You need to know what to do over 40, so we'll go into it. Okay. MSM, like I said, studies show significant from Performance Lab. This is our source. Significant joint improvements from MSM often appear after 2 to 12 weeks. All right? After 2 to 12 weeks. All right? Performance Lab. Popular supplement, but it's something that's needed. Let's go down here. However, when referring to human studies, sorry about this ad, it appears MSM it takes effect from 2 weeks, but likely longer if you're seeking improvements for specific joint conditions. Results vary by dose, extract quality, baseline activity, and support habits. Another thing, if your gut health is off, if you don't exercise, it will be hard for you to absorb. I can't go into all the benefits of MSM tonight. We can do that another time, but it helps with a lot of things. It helps for things not to be able to cling on your colon and flush them out, if you know what I mean, little critters. Okay, MSM is very powerful. I personally take up to 6,000 milligrams a day, and I take 10,000 milligrams of 10 to 12,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day. Why? A person who, like me, who puts out a lot of things that causes a lot of inflammation, meaning I'm working a lot. I'm working out. I'm working on the land. The vitamin C helps my immune system. It also helps to rebuild collagen, all right, ligaments and tendons. It helps my, so with copper, with me taking my copper and my vitamin C, my iron is available because you need vitamin C and copper to absorb iron. Not only that, the collagen production will always be on point to constantly keep old injuries being healed, because an old injury like a partial ACL tear is going to take years to fully heal or get close to that. And then you have to be exercising to strengthen the knee and the muscles around the knee. Very important, the calf muscles. But guess what? The MSM is why I started the supplement company. It helped me to I don't do this no more now, but it helped me to be able to squat 500 pounds to the floor. So from a person who could barely walk sometimes, or my knee would just break out in pain, and I would have to put a knee brace on. The MSM, taking it 6 weeks and never stop taking it, was what made me inspired to start. I said, man, I believe in supplements now. Let me see what else I need. So I started having supplements. This is over a decade ago, obviously. But I said, man, I had to share this with the people one day. I didn't know any of you, back then. But I said, I'm going to have to share this with the people, man. I'm going to have to. So I did. Okay. Vitamin D. There's proof that up to 15,000 IU in a study with mice help to destroy the big C word. Now, I wouldn't take that much on a regular basis. Right now, I take about 5,000 IU in the wintertime. And I might take it, depending on if the sun is out there, I might take it 2 or 3 times a week, depending if I need it, because it has K2. The vitamin D is not going to be wasted in my body. Yeah, it's one of those things, iodine, copper, MSM. These are some of the key things that I will not go without. All right. But in wintertime, I'm more so taking it. In the summertime, if you don't eat fermented foods, I suggest you always take it. But I have kefir. I have raw milk kefir in my house. We make sauerkraut. We drink raw milk. I'm really getting K2 in a lot of those things already. So I still keep it there. If we have like a week of rainy days, boom. So you have to know what you're doing. But it is my #1 selling item on keysupplements.com. Why? Because people are very smart. I don't only sell to people in the church, guys. I sell to people worldwide. I ship to Ireland. I ship to the Netherlands. I ship to UK. I ship to China, Japan. I ship to Canada. I ship everywhere. So people understand how important it is when it comes to not only D3, but D3 plus K2. It is just that important, especially in wintertime, especially in places that do not have a lot of sun. All right. So why did I bring this out really quick? Well, some people quit before they're going to see results. They take something for a week. A week is not enough. You ain't been taking minerals on the regular. Your energy is up and down. Your hormones is up and down. Your sleep is up and down. Your water's up and down. Your exercise is up and down. Listen, we got to get rid of this or else. If you're not taking consistent minerals, like magnesium is another one. Let me tell you, I need 450 milligrams to 500 milligrams of magnesium a day. So I'm going to give you an example next week of what I do. I'm finally going to do it. What I do every day to make taking supplements very easy. I can't tell you how much MSM to take. You need to look up the recommended dose online. I, as a superior athlete, take 6,000 milligrams a day. Anything more than that is for horses. I'm going to take the top because, we lift a lot of weights. We do a lot of reps. So we put out a lot of stuff. So we want to make sure, just like our livestock animals, we're on point. So that's what I do. On Lion's Homestead, I can't tell you how much to take of those things. I can only tell you what I do. All right. I take copper, colloidal copper morning and night, but next week I'm going to go into more of that. Last but not least, before I close it out, because I've stayed on way longer than I said, but it's okay. I love the people. Turmeric, for example. I've never felt turmeric help me when it comes to inflammation until you take it long enough. It don't work right away like ibuprofen. So a lot of people get mad at the herb sometimes because they take longer, but it's a purpose of why the Most High made it that way. It's not like a pharmaceutical where it just absorbs quickly. So personally, if I need a pain pill or ibuprofen, I'm going to take ibuprofen. I keep those things around on purpose just for an emergency. But I never want to overtake that to just mess my gut up. But if I need it for an emergency, I'm going to keep it there. All right? Turmeric. Benefits generally appear over 4 to 12 weeks. And absorption is improved with fats or black pepper, which is nicknamed piperine or bioperine. Very, very important to be consistent. If you are not consistent with minerals, I have a system I want to talk about next week. You're going to have to find out what works for you. But I'm going to show you my system, and you can compare, you can add in, take away. I'm just going to tell you what works for me as a superior athlete. I'm talking about a person who played high performance sports at a high level. You talking about we used to play full court and not get tired. I used to go to work after high school, got out early, worked 6 hours. We used to play basketball 6 hours. We wouldn't get tired. So my little joints and ankles got sprung where it don't even get sprung no more. But once again, some of these things is just going to take a little longer. I have one of the most powerful pre-menopause supplements with some of the most powerful herbs in there. Most of my supplements are herbs. And wild yam, for example, powerful. And I'm adding more things that people don't know about. Yeah, I can't say it, but I'm adding some more stuff. But you need to take it for at least a month to see results. The hormones don't change in 2 days, women. The hormones don't change in 2 days. And I have probiotics in it for you to absorb it. And a lot of you need to be taking enzymes if you don't have enzymes and you have stomach issues with food. So I have digestive enzymes with some of the most powerful enzymes in the world in there. Or get you a little apple vinegar and water. This is very important. I'm telling you right now. You need to exercise and you need to be consistent. A lot of people, I ain't feeling that. A lot of people who's over 35 is taking ultra tests. You don't feel nothing because you're not doing enough. You're not even working out good enough. You got these off and on skinny dudes working out, trying to get a little muscle. It ain't happening for you, bruh. You too inconsistent. I'm sorry to tell you. You too inconsistent. You don't have the drive. You are if you're a seasonal workout person, it ain't happening for you, bruh. It ain't happening for you, sis. I'm gonna be real with you. You don't blame it on a supplement. Blame it on you. You lack discipline. I can hop down right now and do almost 200 shorties. Because me and you, Rock, we challenge each other. How many you did today? How many you did today? In one set. And for people who think shorties don't work, please come and lift with me. Please come and lift with me, or please go and lift with your Rock. And you will be shocked. Let me tell you, ain't too many people I know curling the hundreds. Ain't too many people I know curling 100-pound dumbbells or putting 7th place in rowing. Trust me when I say that. That's not to brag. I'm telling you, the information that's coming out is from experience. Not too many people I know did a muscle up with 80 kilos. Not too many people I know curled 225 pounds. That weighed more than me. I was only 178. So what I'm telling you from experience. I don't do those things anymore because I don't need to. I was just young and crazy and having fun, but I try to be longevity and realistic now to make my body last. But what I'm telling you is you need to have a little dog in you and be a little bit more consistent with who you want to become in life with your health. Or don't. Or don't. Have the smoking weed body. Have the smoking weed body where you look like you never gain weight and your calves is the size of your son and Jim Jones. Listen, come on, brothers. Let's toughen this thing up, man. Let's toughen it up. Sisters, let's stop accepting after you have a baby to keep weight on your face. Eat more protein to make you lean because the carbs will make you large. Put the sweet potato pie down for a second. You can look beautiful for a long time if you work on your diet, sisters. I think we're falling to when I'm seeing, and I love my beautiful sisters, but I think the education is lacking because maybe no one told you guys what men think or how beautiful you truly are and how you can be it from adding more protein to your diet. You know how many people hit me up every day, Elder, what I need to do and all that? And I'm going to tell them the same thing. You need to eat as much protein as your body weight. you're gonna still keep your curves and all that. If you don't have enough curves, then you add a little bit more carbs back into your diet. Very simple. If you eat too much protein, like overboard, what I'm saying, you're gonna be boxed out. But it will take all the fat off of you. Those of you who want the lose weight quick results, you're gonna have flabby skin on you. You need to be patient and take your time. And those of you who's like that, it's all good. The Most High is going to work with you. Watch me. If you have patience, you need to lift a lot of weights, a lot of reps. Once you build a lot of muscle under that fat, all of that fat's going to turn to muscle, and you'll be better burning the muscle down than just the fat. Because if you just burn the fat too quick, you will shock the body, and you're going to have to go get surgery to take some of that flabby skin off. Trust me what I'm saying. Be patient with your process. Let patience have her perfect works. I'm telling you, there's a lot of fat guys out there, and they lift for a few years. And let me tell you, they might be 280. And all of that becomes muscle. And when they finally toned down, they had to get no skin surgery because they let the body adapt. So I just gave you $gazillion game, like Cali Muscle say. All right? Stop thinking after you have the baby, you're just supposed to accept being regular and skinny fat. And you used to be young and nah. Look at the women who's 80 years old and fine. Not that they should be wearing these type of clothes, but there's some sisters who's 80 years old, 60, 70 years old, look amazing with curves because they lift weights and eat protein per body weight. You want to weigh 165? Eat 165 pounds of protein. Because guess what? It might sound crazy to you, and you fast whenever you need to fast. It might sound crazy to you because I don't eat in the morning. I drink protein in the morning. It might sound crazy to you, but sometimes when you're over 40, depending on your genetics, if you don't eat enough, you don't boost your metabolism. Metabolism is like a fire. You need to keep adding sticks to it. And I'm talking about eating what your body needs, protein that you're losing, creatine, protein. So a lot of times you're not eating enough. And I'm not talking about being a glutton. It's a difference than giving your body what you need at a certain age to balance hormones because they didn't whack your hormones out from every skin product you put in, hair product you put in, and every food, potato chip you eating. If you don't believe me, I'm just telling you the truth. But mine is going to work out. That's me, though. I'm not judging nobody else. Not just for looks, but for health. Because working out will outlive most people. Most people on the earth who worked out will outlive most people. So I just dropped it on you, and I'm going to leave it there. You need to be consistent with what you do, or else complain, hate on the next person because you can't do it. You too damn lazy. You're too weak. So you're going to hate on somebody else. Why don't you tell yourself right now with that water that's flowing in your brain that the Most High created that earth with, you too strong? Why don't you tell yourself that? You can do it. You will do it. You're going to start today. But you're not. Don't try to do it too much because then you're going to be too sore to keep working out. Then you're going to quit again. And if you want to know what shorties is, it's the little things that people be doing that people make fun of. And those people look better than the people who ain't doing nothing. So let me tell you, my whole body was formed from shorties. And I didn't have no joint pain. So stop listening to these steroid weightlifting influencers who are just trying to steal your money and getting sponsored with products. They're all taking steroids, 90% of them. Yes, they are. Just so you know, I can tell you which one of them. I've worked out with steroid users on and off. So, just so you know. And guess what? That don't mean they strong either. So, we're done. Got to go get me a little food. Got a lot of work to do tomorrow. I stayed on longer to help you guys, and I pray that the information was very helpful for you. Next week, what to do as a man and woman over 40 to stay healthy. Everybody wants to know why they are not gaining muscle as a man. Their testosterone is low. Why are the women still having too much fat on their face and under their chin and all of that? and thinking people just supposed to accept in the way that is. No. When you lose more weight and you build that muscle, because it's going to help you burn fat by building muscle, you're going to look amazing, my sister. And people going to be looking at you like, girl, what is you doing? Did you go get this surgery? No, y'all ain't getting no surgery. I got with it. You know what I'm talking about? So, really quick, somebody asked me the site really quick. I'm just going to put that and we got to go. This is the other site. We got the MSM and the vitamin C on there, and other products. If you want them, you're just going to have to request them, and I might get them on there. I have some other stuff coming, but I'm really busy, but I have some pretty more powerful stuff coming there, right? Got the MSM, got the black seed oil, got the deodorant, tooth powder, all this stuff. Boric acid capsules. I can't say what they're for, but we talked about the secret parts today. Let's just put it that way. Men and women, you can use that when you're dealing with things, okay? So just look it up. They do some very good things when it comes to, you know, yeast infection and things like that. All right? So you got, you know, the stuff you drink the cranberry juice for, UTI and all of that. You know, men, you got to just learn how to get with it. Open that capsule and, you know, rest. And you're going to be all right. This stuff is very powerful. Okay? So these are all the items here. My famous tea is there. Okay? And then you already know keysupplements.com. That's our main site. That's our sister site there. That's our sister site. Okay? And this site is pretty powerful, man, because we help a lot of people with this. Oh, ashwagandha is another one of those things that takes a few weeks to fully be absorbed. I feel mine's right away, personally, when it comes to my mood and strength and adding even more testosterone on top of my ultra test in the mornings. But for you who don't take it on the regular, ashwagandha sometimes takes a little bit. But sisters, the ashwagandha with the pre-menopause joint, stuff like that, let me tell you, your iodine, making sure your gut is in order, really exercising, really going to help you a lot. You're going to feel a lot better. Copper to release that iron on our sister site. Hey, read a little bit. You'll see what I'm talking about. But we will be going into a show in the future about copper and the power of copper. Okay, because I'm not going to just go into some basic stuff. I'm going to go into some powerful stuff about some of these things, all right? So just want to put that out there. God bless you all. And don't forget, our Hebrew and Bible Academy does start. It does start December 21st now, just as a reminder. So make sure you get in. Make sure you support the work. We appreciate all the donations tonight. We need every donation. I'm not talking about like the Christian pastors. We're seriously doing this work. We are seriously preparing for these times. We're seriously warning our people. And you don't see us flying in any jets. You don't see us coming down in helicopters. We're seriously helping the people and planning for the times to come. Our elders have worked so hard to build this church. You all have helped to put that in, and we could not have done it without you. We really appreciate your time. It is very valuable to us and all the works that you put in, all right? So peace and blessings to everybody. And we got a surprise coming for y'all soon, me and Malak. So make sure you stay tuned to the Lion and King music page, because we got a little video we're going to be dropping on y'all, a little mixtape video. So check that out pretty soon. I've been busy. I can't be dropping music every day. I like to stay behind the scenes with the music and let the youngsters have it. But, you know, I got people, Shawan, like, no, brother, you got to come out with the music. So I'm like, all right, brother, I'm going to come out with the music. So we're going to be putting some more music out and bringing it out for the people. Peace and blessings, all right? Shalom. And don't forget, historytimes.org. Thank you, Elder Dale. Thank you, my beautiful brother, your rock, Elder Dale. Love you guys. Love all the people out there. Make sure y'all stay on y'all game. You know I'm going to give it to you real, right? So you can be better. You know what I mean? So, shalom.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth